stuff.
High formation. They need a yard and a half. Here's Nick faking. He's under pressure. He shoots a pass upfield. Tight end catches it at the 20. Broke the tackle at 15 to the 10 of the 5. He's gone. That's Jesse McCovery. Touchdown, Auburn.
That's a fine win there now. That's a fine win. You dag them 12-0. And ain't nobody else 12-0. That's a fine win. They did a good job. They did a good job. Defense, y'all saw more junk. I mean, you shut down their first thing. They kept having stuff. That was a great job. We didn't know what to expect. They hadn't seen that stuff half the time we're here. That's a great job, because when they had to take guts at the end, and you had to go down there and make it happen, you made it happen. I'm proud of you. Offense, 22 points against that team. They didn't give up 22 but one time last year. That's 22 points, and we didn't execute like we should. We didn't execute the whole thing. But let's give the credit to them. Man, I'm proud of you. No slowing down now, man. No slowing. That's going to come back and be a sweeter win than you think.
This is the Auburn Football Review with Coach.
Those audacious Auburn Tigers won number 12 in a row, 22-17 over Ole Miss before a regional TV audience at Oxford, Mississippi yesterday. Welcome to the Auburn Football Review and Coach Terry Bowden. Congratulations on your first television victory.
Well, I tell you, it was one we had to get, and, buddy, it was just like you don't want it, but you know the first game's going to be like. And not just a television audience, but a great Auburn audience. Best away game crowd I've ever been a part of. Tiger walk there. The buses went the wrong direction.
What a crowd to greet you. When you
unbelievable. And just don't stop. I'll get those buses in the right direction next time for that time. They came early for the Tiger walk, and I couldn't get the buses to head the right direction. And they went to the other side of the stadium. But, boy, that's the crowd. The last, as we won the game at the end, we're sitting down there in the middle of the end zone full of Auburn people. And they couldn't hear. The other team couldn't hear at their own stadium. What a plus that was.
I cannot help but believe the way that game ended will be helpful to the team.
You know, I think exactly right. You go out there and they don't get their offense going, and maybe you get overconfident. I mean, what kind of preparation do I have this week for Northeast? We got to get better. We've got to correct some things. We need to use every week to improve. I think that kind of finish shows you something with your team and also guarantees you're going to get pretty good work for the next 7 days.
Okay, let's go into the Auburn dressing room now, where the Tigers, of course, were happy over their win to open the season.
It definitely gave us a gut check at the end. You know, that third quarter drive, we had to do it. You know, we really needed to take that crowd out of the game, and you know, they made it 16-10, and we drove the ball straight down the field and scored. You know, we showed a lot of character. You know, we really built a chemistry on the team today. You know, really found out what we were about.
On the sneaks, you got so much yardage. What was the situation there?
Well, we on the sneaks, all it is wedge block, and I just stand the nose guard up, and Leonard and Jason just coming and plowing into the back of me and getting good push. So I mean, it worked this time.
First touchdown.
It was unexpected, but it was great. After I crossed the end zone, it seemed like the end zone was so far away, but I made it.
And your old buddy got the block to spring you.
Yeah, and he's my roommate as well, and I give him all the credit on that great block. And I'm just happy to take this victory back to Auburn.
Might be a good time to play these guys today.
Yeah, they're just gonna get better as the season goes along.
Coach told me I was gonna get the ball a lot, so I was looking forward to it, and it was something I really thought about for us before the season came.
You were close 2 or 3 times, and you finally blocked the big one, huh?
Well, I knew I was going to get one. The end was so close inside, and I thought I had got a couple of ones earlier, but I missed them so close, like you said. And at the end, I knew I ran down, and I knew I had to get it at the end to make a big play for our defense.
You just have a taste for the dramatic. You saved a good one for last.
Well, I needed it, and the defense needed it, too.
Oh, I did. I don't know if that was your first sack of the day, but it sure was a big
big one.
Yeah, well, I just went in and they put me in for my quickness and everything, and it was third down and long. That's what I do best is rush passer. So, you know, I had to go in and get him.
You were out there all alone with the punt returner guy, and you got locked up on him.
Oh, yes, I did. The only thing I did, I just watched his belt buckle. I learned that in high school. You watch his belt buckle, you always get him down.
Wherever that belt buckle goes, that's where he's going to go.
Yeah, and that's where I'm going to go.
We was just getting good pressure on him and picking out their line blocking scheme. We just got good pressure on him first half.
After you all kind of got the edge off and he started having a little time, he got a lot more effective.
Yeah, he did. He's going to be a good quarterback in this league because when he had time to sit back there and throw, he actually got some great passes, though.
But we can't decide if you or Brian Brinsfield caused the fumble, but I know you got the fumble after it was on the ground, right?
Right.
You were coming from the outside?
Yeah, from wing position.
And I think you and Brian got there about the same time.
Yeah.
Turned it into a touchdown anyway, and it was big.
Yeah, it was. It helped the team out a lot. Especially team, you can make big plays, you can win.
Who caused the fumble? Do you know?
I really don't. I don't know, but I might have. I might have hit him.
At the time, weren't you?
I might have hit him, but I don't know. I saw him coming up toward me, and next time the ball's loose.
Well, if you did, congratulations.
For hard.
Oh, what a pleasant surprise the weather was at Vaught Hemingway Stadium yesterday. Kind of cool for early September.
Well, you know, we needed it because we had not had hot weather here like we normally do. A hot day may have been to our disadvantage because Mississippi had some hot weather during 2 days. So we got cool weather. We hoped we'd get some, and we got it. We were pleased with it. I think everybody in the stands were too.
12, 14, maybe 15,000 Auburn people there.
I've never seen anything like it. And when you talk about why did you win, that's got to be one of the pluses, the crowd supporters we got in this game. And, of course, when they stop us in 3 plays, and, of course, we've had to punt. They have not been on the field yet offensively. And great punt to open up with, and watch this. See, I think Brinsfield was the second guy. I think John Colin was that first guy that went flying through there.
We'll get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, but Riggins made the recovery. It's just a team effort. And, buddy, this is what a coach worries about. The first game, who's going to make the first turnover? And then we take it on 20, and there's Steve Davis, one of a lot of carries. He showed us that he can tote the football, and the offensive line showed us they're not going to slack off from last season.
Second down and 10 here at the 13 now. Big play.
Well, mixing up a little bit. It's funny how that was one of the plays that hurt in the very first drive last year, right about the same place. We went to the same type of thing, put us inside the 5. And, of course, when people start to run sideways, east and west to stop the sweep, they don't pinch and stop the quarterback sneak. And so it's funny how people say, why do you run that? Well, we run it because we run the sweep.
The defense was just so dominant in the first half.
Well, that was the whole thing. I know at halftime I spoke to the they just controlled. Ole Miss had 4 yards of total offense at halftime, and we were able to stop what they were doing. But each series they were able to put in a little bit more of their offense, and you'll see in the second half. But here was the first mistake, Patrick. You'll see right there, he underthrew the football. It's an out route. Their guy had to break. He cannot break on the outside. He breaks the inside. Poorly thrown ball, but one I don't think you'll make again once you make it in the game. But defense did what the defense is doing. There's Walker, of course, Walker, Pelton, all that defense did a super job. But their kicker, outstanding kicker, they have 48-yard field goal.
Yeah, Montz hits a big one there to get them on the board. Okay, we're late in the first quarter now. Here's the
Well, we went a
guy.
little counter route, and of course Steve gets around that corner. A guy that big just does not look like he's running fast. But I assure you, he's hitting that hole with a lot of weight and a lot of speed. Of course, there's Pat Nix. As you notice, we threw a lot of the naked routes, fake the toss sweep. When it keeps people from squeezing down on your runs. They can't squeeze if they're worried you're going to go in opposite direction. And so these nakeds, we call them nakeds because the quarterback goes out naked and throws. Here's one that you know, here's the catch that Frank Sanders usually makes.
Yeah.
And I mean, there goes Pat Nix, probably going to start out with an unbelievable game. Frank dropped 2 early passes that Nix put right on the money. This is a quarterback draw, not a scramble. 3rd and 7. He gets it down to a 4th and 1, and you're going to see that naked. We really felt that they would blitz, which right here, they blitz, sold the farm. They either get you or you get them. They had nobody to cover the tight end. Great block by Andy Fuller for his teammate and roommate, Jesse McCovery, who gets his first touchdown pass. You kind of roll with dice there, but based on what I'd seen in film, and I thought late Friday night, as I decided that the first goal line or short yards were going to do that. And then the defense is coming back strong.
I think they had about 4 yards of offense the first half.
Well, that's, I mean, people say, well, the conservative play of the second half is caused by you just feel like your defense has got it under control. And then with some poor throws, you don't want to do something stupid, but the defense, you'll see, continues.
This was a sequence of first, second, and third downs here.
All of our linebackers right there. Look at there. You know, the linebackers coming. There's Bobby Daffin, one of our new redshirt freshmen rush-ins, and Scott Stacy, one of junior college. But the main front people, defense was there every time. And getting around that football like we see. You don't want to get hit like that by Anthony Harris and Chris Schilling and that gang.
The secondary they were trying to throw over the middle some, and the secondary was really just making them.
Well, these things were just not clicking, and you'll see what they did. They would they were trying to experiment. They were just trying to find something, and they finally did. And here again, right before the half, another good run by Steve Davis, as he's always falling forward. Every 33 carry that he had, only one did not get back to the line of scrimmage.
Missed a couple of opportunities here in the second quarter.
Really did. You really worry if it's at the end of the game, you're sitting back there. Boy, that's the series or two that you should have scored points that'll come back to haunt you.
Mosteller makes a big play here that sets up the safety.
Well, he talked about look at that belt buckle. He's also a great athlete. That helps if you're a great athlete. Because I could look at that belt buckle all day. That guy's still running around me. But Marcel's one of the finest athletes we've had a linebacker here as far as his natural talent. Boy, great play again. Anthony Harris starts it out, and Dale McGee had an outstanding game taking Calvin Jackson's place, gets the safety along with the pursuit. I mean, that's a big play. Here we are. They stopped us, and right before the half, they give us a 16-3. But you hope we could have come back and even scored again after that. You pretty much iced the game. But you think you have it there.
Were you worried that it was a little too easy the first half?
Well, it just seemed like everything was going our way. You'd had to switch over. You'd hoped it would only be a series, or hopefully only one big play, and then you go back. But it really was things working our way, and was coming easier than you'd want it to come. But as you see in the second half, wake up, it's going to happen.
It is going to happen. It's going to get very interesting. So stay with us, and we'll be back in just a minute.
I personally have been a member of Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
You will remember the attitude pins last year. Thousands and thousands of Auburn fans wore those lapel pins, and, well, it's another year, and this time it's audacity. You'll have to explain that, Coach.
Well, you know, every year we've had a slogan with football teams. I think for 10 years I've always had one. Here we make pins, and I think everybody gets involved. But audacity, to me, is the ultimate attitude. And I think when the players start to say, Coach, we want to make our goal to go 11-0 again, you know, you begin to say, that's crazy. You got to have audacity to say something like that, and to believe something like that, and to work and prepare for something like that. And so it just seemed like the word that might keep them reminding how hard you have to work to want something like that.
So the Audacity pins are out and available to you. Let's show you how you can order yours.
Well, you know, the pins don't make you win. I think words are things that help you focus on your preparation in football. But I like the fact that the Auburn Network has come up with a way for raising money for the university, for the enrichment of the academic programs that they do. And it's a way of doing something to bring the fans in, to be a part of the team's goals and slogans, and at the same time bringing something back to the university.
Good. We should point out again that portions of the proceeds will go to the academic enhancement programs of the Auburn student athletes. Okay, we're set for a very interesting, in fact, a too interesting second half when we come back on the Auburn Football Review. Open the game, they deferred, and so they took the football to open the second half, and they did something with it, Coach.
Well, everyone wants to set a tempo in the second half. That's what you want. Are we going to stop them? Are they going to score? They set the tempo, and we were in for a battle because of it.
You think part of the reason may have been that maybe the shine was off our pass rush a little bit?
Well, I mean, there's a pass that the guy just missed last time. A great athlete now breaks a tackle, but you're going to see some plays in here that spread us out. They did a few different things. There's the screen we had never seen before, a little middle screen, a missed tackle, and a guy goes 11 yards for a touchdown or 18 yards for a touchdown. A play we had not seen before. There was no road recognition because it had not been seen in practice.
Boy, it's a ball game now because the crowd is in it.
But the great thing is they score just like the field goal before we come back and score. They score there. We come back and score. And I thought we had it under control where we got the momentum back our way. As you see, Steve Davis takes the ball about 7 straight times in this series. And it's just power running and power offensive football, blocking by that offensive line, and the fullback, Harold Morrow and Joe Frazier, very good. Andy Fuller, Willie Anderson, Leonard Thomas, Shannon Rovick, Jason Taylor, and John Franklin, all doing a super job there.
It's a wonderful thing when you get in a game like this where the crowd is in it and you're away from home. If you can run the football,
well, running the ball, I mean, it makes difference. We were controlling the clock a lot of the time. There's the touchdown run. They know the sweep's coming, but now they worry a little bit about the quarterback sneak, you know. And so you get that. Now you're back up 12 again, and you're thinking, well, defense has got to keep them down, and that's the point that we need to win this game. But they just keep coming. They start making some big plays, and the hat's off to Ole Miss. All the adversity they had, they responded perfectly to it.
We're in the fourth quarter now, and they're on the goal line, about to get back within 6 points, and the defense makes 3 great plays here on the goal line.
I mean, Brian Robinson right there, a big sack, followed by another sack. Right here, you see everybody getting a lot of people involved. The final sack made by Willie Whitehead. But, boy, everybody in on that. Then here's the 4th and 14, or is this the, here's the 4th and 14 catch. Good coverage by Chris Shaw. A great catch, a great throw, and a great catch. You either got to sack the guy or you got to just cover a little closer. But, you know, take your hat off. Good play, Ole Miss. Outstanding effort by our defense. Then the next 3, now you're down up by 5. Do you want to throw it in this situation? You'd like to run a few first downs, but they stop us 3 and out, and they bring it right back down. Here's like a first down. There's the interception it could have had. This is about, what, about 3 minutes left?
3 minutes left in the game. The game is on the line right here.
And they've got 4 downs to get a first down. There it is, second down, I believe. And you're going to see 4 straight times they have a chance to get a touchdown.
Down.
There's the pressure right there. Scott Sace, big sack. Gary Walker jumping in on the sack also. And I believe they come in and try to get a field goal. But watch Chris Schilling off the outside blocks the kick, and we get away from it. Chris Schilling was blocking our extra points and field goals all fall during 2-a-days. We timed ourselves. We were doing it fine. He just had a great knack. Now here's this. We ran the ball just like the last series, but here in a few plays we pick up a first down and run the clock all the way under 1 minute. So here's where the power running. Here's a critical third down, about 6 and 7. He makes first down. Now we continue to keep the clock running.
And here's where your all-SEC punter comes in, too.
Delivers an over 60 yards on this punt right here. And now, even with about a 5 or 6 yard return, you've got a lot of people down there to stop him. And they've got less than about 40 seconds now to finish it off. Of course, our defense now can sit back and make sure they have to have a touchdown to win.
Right. Boy, that was the key. Blocking the field goal made them have to have a touchdown to win.
Willie and Pelton and Willie Whitehead and the rest of the defense doing a great job there. And that's the last play of the game. But I'm going to tell you, first games of the season, I'm probably our own worst enemy, my conservative nature. But the first game is so important. I'll tell you, I'll take a 3-0 win to get that first game, that conference game out of the way. And we can't ever get so big that we worry about a win. A win was very big to go to Ole Miss and beat a conference team like that. We've got to walk away from there very, very proud of these young men.
I felt that attitude in the dressing room, too. I think.
Without a doubt. This conference is too hard. Playing on the road in this conference is too hard. We've got to correct some things, but I think that the game went just like we needed for us to get better.
Back in just a moment.
Whatever uniforms they wear, football players work hard to be their...
Northeast Louisiana, Auburn Network on the air at 4:30. Congratulations, Coach. See you next week.
Thank you very much.
Coach Bowden's apparel provided by The Locker Room. This has been the Auburn Football Review, brought to you by...
Split to either side, and here's that shovel pass to the fullback, Mora, 25, 20, 15, 10, down the far side at the 5. He's in! Touchdown, Auburn!
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. War Eagle, right on the field. Never eat. War Eagle, right on the field. Go, go, go! All the victories, right on the band. Give her, stay up again. Hey, War Eagle, with Auburn, our victory land. Hey!
Don't ever stop to take time to appreciate a win now. Don't ever take time and appreciate it. And have a good time tonight. Savor it. That's a good win. It was a good win. Everybody did what they had to do, is what I would expect us to do. I would expect us to do that. And you did it just like you were supposed to do it. We got that out of the way. And now we got LSU. Now we got LSU. And now we're back in that conference. So you just have a good time tonight, and then you played good football. I was proud of it. A lot of class out there. Some big hits. Some big hits. Let's have a great week. Let's say one at a time. One at a time, and LSU is next.
This is the Auburn football.
And welcome to the Auburn Football Review. Last night, a 44-12 Auburn victory over Northeast Louisiana. And Terry Bowden, I suppose the things you wanted to get done, this worked out very well for you.
I really was pleased. You know, you're always worried how are you going to play in a game like this where your team's a little bit not as talented. And I saw everything I wanted to see. Played hard. We got ahead, established control. 70 football players played. So many games you don't get a chance to play a lot of people. Got to play a lot of people. And we improved. And it was one of those games where you come out and take control immediately, which really is good on the old coach, I suppose. Well, you know, 2 weeks in a row, our defense has just been dominant. And first half, the other teams have not been able to do anything. That gives our offense time to put some points on the board, put us in position to take control of the game. And again, my hat's off to the defense. But they came out. This team threw for 225 yards against Colorado the week before, but they set the control early, got some big turnovers, and with that, we scored points. Obviously, one of the things you wanted to see, you wanted to throw the football and get some good rhythm going in it. Well, that's what we did. I wanted to throw it a lot. I know a couple of drives we settled for field goals early because instead of running it in four-down territory, I threw some passes to see if that didn't work, and we kicked field goals. But then I went to the passing game a good bit in the second quarter, and I think people began to see some of the possibilities there. Not sharpened up yet to go out and win it with a passing game, but combining that with a run, we're going to have a better chance in some of the big games. And let's go into the Auburn dressing room now and talk with some of the players right after last night's game.
It was an Alonzo Etheridge night, wasn't it?
Well, I guess you can say that. We scouted the team all week, and we figured that they would, run a lot of the plays to the weak side, in which they did. And I was fortunate enough to make those plays that came to my side. I missed a few, but I made it quite a bit, as you can see.
Now you're going to hear it all week, though, that you can't score, right?
That probably so.
Yeah, we got back there pretty good. They just ran a lot of, some crazy stuff, and I see we earned some respect off of last week, It was double teaming us a lot. We just had to, figure out what they were doing and learn how to rest from that.
Did you see that block that Shannon Robeek got for you?
At the last moment. When I saw it, I was like, thank God Robeek was there, because the guy had a good angle on me. And Robeek block made it real easy on me for just to run down the sideline.
You were just in position for a great crackback, right?
Yeah, I really was. I mean, that's a dream. A lot of linemen don't get to get those. That's a wide receiver, somebody shot like that, and I just happened to get it, so I took it.
I've heard people say Auburn can't run the Utah pass. I reckon they can.
I reckon they can. I mean, the camera won't lie.
Is that your first one?
Yes.
Pretty nice, huh? Somebody wrapped you in the lip, too.
Yeah, I got smite pretty hard there.
It was worth it, though, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it was a great game in a different situation where, we playing a team not in our confidence. And so, we watched them on film, they kind of lackadaisical, so we had to come out there blow them out, at least in the first half, so we get some of the young players in there so they get a little taste of this Auburn football.
He blocks a lot, and occasionally he catches one, too.
Yeah, Coach Garner was telling to start the game, they want to try to get us the ball a lot, so I was just going to try to get the ball, and whatever I could do, I was going to try to get in the end zone. I was kind of disappointed I didn't get in the end zone, but I was happy that I caught the ball and got a good game for the team.
Really, that's our first game to come out and pass like that, so really that's our first game of that kind of offense, and I think we did a good job. We messed up a little bit here and there, but nothing major, no turnovers or anything like that, and I think overall it was a good performance.
And he was getting ready to go in and block somebody, and I turned around and I saw him looking at somewhere, and I tried to keep the ball and get the first down. I got in the rib. Got a pretty good shot to the rib.
Knocked the wind out of you?
Yes, sir.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Feel pretty good about, do you think this is what you needed to get your feet on the ground?
Yeah, I know. I just needed a taste of getting there. Maybe next week I can get a few snaps in there, too, and go from there.
Okay, let's move into the opening of the game. 6 o'clock start, playing into the twilight. Didn't seem to bother anybody.
Well, it was really nice. It was hot there before the sun went down, but when the sun goes down about kickoff time, it cooled off, and the crowd was unbelievable. I tell you, My hat's off to Auburn people. I'm going to tell you, the numbers that we had out there, nearly 80,000 to play a team I know not a lot of people know a lot about, but fantastic. And I know at LSU, it's going to be standing room only, but a great kick. Matt Hawkins did a great job at every area. Great job there. Kelsey Crooks and John Cullen, who both had big hits there. Big specialty team play, and our defense just took control early. They did not get a first down until late in the first half. Jason Miska, good to see him back there with Anthony Harris. Very much you want to see your defense swarm early.
2nd and 8 now after the play by Miska. Good coverage here on this sack.
Yeah, there's Gary Walker there making a good sack. Continue to have sacks. Had 5 or 6 sacks on the evening. Again, first half sacks when we're out there playing the games a little bit closer. Alonzo Etheridge had a field day. There's a deflection and an interception. He was all over the place. Great job, Alonzo Etheridge, this week in really asserting himself. I thought I saw him everywhere. And of course, there's the offense. Look at the surge. All their bodies moving into the end zone.
Taylor, Robeek, Thomas, all inside there getting the good blocks.
Well, against a team like Northeast, where you need to take control, the defense getting that turnover allowed us to get a quick touchdown. Now, we did something different. We were going to go put him on the first down and let him get one play to get relaxed and loose the football. He run a little quarterback draw there.
Damian Craig we're talking about.
The crowd all knew who was going in, Damian Craig. And there's, we hadn't not seen a big hole in the middle like that. And Joe just couldn't believe there was nobody to tackle him. But I think we're starting to loosen things up.
That's part of last week's game, too. They saw you run wide so well.
That's right. There's a good pass. We opened up our passing game a little bit. Pat Nix had no interceptions, threw a touchdown pass, had a very good day.
Sure did.
And there's the field goal. We kicked a couple of field goals. I was so intent. I guess sometimes when you play a team that you feel like you're going to have a lot of chances, you go down there instead of running 4 downs to get a first down, you throw it a couple downs early, it forces you into field goals. And so I was going to work on some things down there this week and probably cost us a couple of early touchdowns.
Here comes the turnover.
You'll see there's the big hit right there. The big hit you see come across. That's Joe Frazier. Both of our fullbacks, Harold Morrow and Joe Frazier, are great special teams players. Joe Frazier caused the fumble. I'm not sure who recovered it. And now the offense, Schilling recovered it. Here's a beautiful corner route.
Oh, yeah.
Fakes inside, runs back out. Frank Sanders gets us down there with a fine throwing catch. Again, no sacks this week. We may have had one late in the game when we started mixed a lot of people in. But as far as our offense, another field goal there. We had no sacks on Pat Nix again. And no turnover. I think we had a late fumble. Again, we started to substitute. But again, when the game was in question, boy, that defense getting after him. You're going to see some names. We played 70 people, and you're going to see some faces we haven't seen yet. But I'm so pleased. Steve Davis making a big hole there into the secondary.
He had a relatively light night.
Well, that's the only thing about it. When you have a team that you control, or you have a high school game, you tend to take your good people out, and it's not a good stat day for people, which is the way it should be. That's where the one thing you play so many people that love to play at Auburn. Here's a screen that we had hoped to make work. A little bit off of the time. Of course, Steve Davis finds him in the hole. We ran the screen well last night. Both of them went very well.
Early second quarter now.
Good power run, Joe Frazier at fullback. Reminds you a little bit of Richardson McMillan last year running the football with that kind of power. That helps you. Gets us down to the goal line. There's the naked, we call the bootleg, and throws to Andy Fuller. Watch him just gets his feet there. It gets us down inside the 10-yard line.
Obviously, they had watched that play from last week, and they defensed it some, but still not totally.
Well, like I say, it ties in with these type of plays. Harold Morrow leaps over for the touchdown. He got 2 touchdowns last night. Again, the offensive line, a very good job blocking now. Had about a 250-yard rushing day.
Okay, their next possession now, and watch Miska come and make the play.
Oh, good hit. Jason Miska, the first person to hit. You know, we lost Derek Robinson for the year. Our other middle linebacker, so we replaced him with our leading tackler last year, Jason Miska. But there it is again, Alonzo Etheridge making a hit there and asserting himself.
That was a 3rd and 2 play and stopped them for just a yard, so they had to punt.
And now we're going wide. We're going to open up. That's a little quarterback draw there. It's not a scramble. It's a quarterback draw. It's set up to look like a pass and then run the football.
That was a 3rd and 4. You had good production on 3rd downs, 10 of 17.
There's that same route to Frank Sanders again. And again, I thought Pat Nix was very sharp. A lot of times people, when they see him throw the ball away from the receiver, he's throwing it away.
3rd and 7 here.
Nice little boy. If we just had that one up. If we'd had it up, nobody was covering him. That would have been a big play. But, really moved the. Well, I think it was kind of nice that we got into our 1-minute offense right before the half. And we were able to work it, the no-huddle 1 minute. And I think everybody enjoyed seeing that, where you just let the team line up and just relax and call the plays from the line of scrimmage. And there's a little shuffle pass. Utah.
Good cut. Good cut.
Well, we've got some speed at fullback that we didn't have last year. And again, if we can just run as well, we don't run power football quite as well with those guys. They're a little bit lighter, but they do have good speed.
So the game is getting well in hand here, but first half you want to score as much as you can, right?
Well, what happens is that means you've got some guys who don't have to play very much. You use a lot of players.
Yeah.
There's that one play. I tell you, you take two plays. They threw a bomb. They threw this little play twice, a throwback. I want to study their film and get it in because it's a great play, a rollout and a throw way back across the field. They hit it twice for about 75 yards, hit 50, half their offense on 3 plays. Fred Beasley, again, watch how hard he runs now. Caught a screen, and nice job there. He's going to be a fine football player. We're going to see him. He's really running well. He and Ramon Malcolm.
Here's 3rd and 10.
Beautiful corner route, a little flag route to the post and back out to the flag of the end zone. Willie Gaucher got a good catch there. Trying to get some points before half, and we were able to get down tight and get one more field goal before time ran out.
So it's a 30-6 score at halftime, and you really passed the receiving around. 13 different guys caught balls. That's
well,
moving it around.
If you can get the thing spread, if you can get your passing game spread like there's nobody they can focus on. Remember last year it was always Frank Sanders or Thomas Bailey. If we can get Gaucher or Goodson or the backs of the football, then they can't overload. They can't double team. And somewhere down the road, I got a feeling this is going to help us come into a critical game.
Back in just a minute after these words.
30-6, and again, playing very well. You know you're going to be able to get some substitutes in. You're probably going to use your first team one more time, make sure you come out sharp, and then get some points and get everybody in. So again, you feel good. You've seen pretty much what you want to see. A good, sharp mental attitude is very important because, again, you never want a young man going onto a football field not playing hard. And when you play someone that I think underneath you know you're a little bit better than, if you ever get to where you can play not as hard as you should, then you'll have problems. So we played hard.
Sure did, and we'll be back to look at a lot of numbers that you haven't seen before on the football field as Auburn gets a chance to play a lot of people in the second half. And get something going again early. We're into nighttime football now. What a crowd, 78,000 for the opening game. Really good.
I tell you, and it is. It's so exciting to be back home again. There's nothing like playing at Jordan Hare Stadium. There really isn't. Big hit by Brian Robson there. And our defense comes up, goes right back to them what they've been doing. Just stuff their offense and, you know, gets the ball right back to you. I think the Northeast had one good drive going in the entire game, and this might have been it in the third quarter where they had one good drive. I think that was pretty much it as far as going against our good people.
And you think back to last week when Ole Miss came out and scored. And
well, that was a dominant play by Gary Walker. They just took the offensive lineman, drove him right back to the quarterback and pulled the quarterback back down. And now we're going to jump out there. Thomas Bailey catch a nice little out route. That was one we missed a couple times against Ole Miss. I really want to make sure we can hit that little sideline pass to get the clear pass back in. Steve Davis, some good hard running there. Not much hole in that play. Good hard running there. We're still looking for that 50 or 60-yard run, though. We need to see that part of our offense. Even if it does come on a reverse, like it did here. Big hit. There's the Shannon Robic hit on the reverse. But Frank Sanders takes the reverse and gets a big touchdown there.
And Frank's into the offense now. So many. He had a good catch, too.
That's right. There's the good pressure. Bobby Daffin getting some pressure there. Alonzo Etheridge and Jason Miska again getting the sack. It's a good sack night. You'll start seeing some new faces now. There's the counter play, and there's Ramon Malcolm. Good run by Ramon Malcolm now. As you get these other young backs healthy at tailback, you're going to get some good competition for people wanting to play. Should enhance the performance of practice.
Now Damian Craig is running the offense now.
Tyrone Goodson, a nice strike. Again, the offensive line has done a great job. Any mistakes we have in the offensive line at this point be young guys who have not worked together. You see Big Riley there, offensive tackle. Jim Rowe has gone in right there, gets Fred Beasley into the end zone. Tyrone Diller at tight end got his first play in time. They're blocking on the offensive line.
Fred just kind of got in the pile there and rode him into the end zone.
Boy, I tell you, look at Andre Miller getting run backwards. You'll see Fred Smith come back. I tell you, I don't think it showed up on film, but I saw one of the biggest hits of the game. Fred Smith, again, hit about 260-pounder, and neither of them, Fred didn't knock him back, but that guy was hurting.
In the fourth quarter now, and an opportunity to see a lot of new faces.
There's a tight end from Atlanta area, Tyrone Diller, did a good job catching the ball there. Kevin McLeod at fullback right there, and again, the naked bootleg thrown to Damon Logan right there. Nice catch the ball. Our third tight end caught the ball. There's a little fake sweep. kind of fun watching Damian run around there. He just,
yeah, it is.
Every time he gets the ball, you're waiting for something to happen. But
he has that radar. He knows where people are.
I think, you know, the more people talk about it, there's a chance to get two quarterbacks playing a little bit down the road. We're going to find some ways to do it. Beautiful pass there to Jeremy Hand of Auburn. Made a big catch in there. His first catch of the year, being thanked by Daryl Sanders, one of our linemen. There's a future Auburn player.
A future War Eagle.
Look at Shannon Suttles there, Bobby Daffin, John Colin. All some new players there we hadn't seen very much. Good to see them play, and that's what's good about a game like this. A lot of Auburn men that get to play that won't have an opportunity, and I'm sure Northeast will have their day as they begin to move their first year in 1A football.
So it's a big 44-12 victory, number 13 in a row for the Tigers. We'll be back in just a minute.
Yesterday's incredible comeback against LSU. Down by 14 in the fourth quarter, Auburn returned not one, not two, but 3 interceptions for touchdowns. Ken Alvis, Fred Smith, and Brian Robinson made Curly Hallman pay for his mind-boggling play calling. On a day when the Auburn offense was described by Coach Terry Bowden as inept, the Tiger defense delivered all 4 touchdowns, and somehow the nation's longest winning streak reached 14.
I've never been in a game like that. I've never seen one. We couldn't get a first down. We couldn't get a thing to go. And the defense just kept going and kept going. I mean, what can I say? Y'all saw it. You can't explain it. I mean, I'll try. It's just that will go down in history books. I don't know if there's been a greater defensive performance in college football.
Probably the most disappointed that I've ever been in my coaching career is right now. Came in here and believed we had a good football team. I still believe we've got a chance to have a good football team. I don't know if I've ever been in a game like this.
Can you believe they were throwing the ball in that situation? I couldn't believe it, but hey, they did, so we had to make them pay.
They made him pay, all right. On the day Deion Sanders made his day, not a game for the...
Looking with time. Throwing upfield. Intercepted by Alvis at the 40. 35 to 30. Alvis to 25 to 20 to 15. Alvis to the 10. Still on his feet to the 5. Alvis into the end zone. Touchdown, Auburn!
Ben, you just saw, if it ain't the greatest defensive ball game ever played, I ain't ever seen it. I have never defense, I may never, ever be one like that. Listen, and offense, don't you pout. You better have just as much fun as they did. Hey, offense, you have a great time tonight. We got our work cut out for us next week. Listen, we win together. Defense, when you had to do it, you had to score, you had to stop them. You took it down from the deepest part of your heart, and you did it. That offense is going to come back and help you one day. We're going to be after every day. Don't you let me see one down out offense because I am so proud I can't stand it. You don't ever have a win. Ready, now. Ready. 1, 2.
1, 2, 3, 4. War Eagle, fire good. Everybody conquer, everybody yes. War Eagle, finish good. Go, go, go. All the victory, stand up, stand. Give that, hey. War Eagle, wins the Auburn time. Dixieland.
This is the Auburn.
One for the ages yesterday at Jordan Hare. Auburn 30, LSU 26. The defense scoring all the points except one field goal. I think you call that defensive audacity, Coach.
I'm going to tell you, if you could say get one first down the second half and score 27 points, if you ever want to see what audacity looked like, I think yesterday we saw what audacity looked like. People just finding a way to win a football game when there just not seem to be any way you could win it.
You know, I think winning is that, I mean, finding a way to win, winning week after week after week breeds that sort of thing.
It has to. I think we talk about our players visualizing themselves doing something that wins a football game. And in a game like that, where so many individuals had to make plays to go out and win a game, because the offense, because we were not getting anything done defensively, we not only had to stop the team, but we had to have a turnover that created points. And again, I think that comes from having just to me, a bold belief that you can do some things. And I saw some defensive players that Ken Alvis's run, there was no way he was going to be denied that goal line. We'll see it in the film. It's an amazing thing.
And our apologies, by the way, to Ken Alvis in the dressing room. Our conversation with him had some sound problems. We were not able to use that, but we did talk to the rest of those magnificent defensive players, that audacious defense, and let's hear some of that now.
You know, offense been carrying us sometime when we break down. Offense, they couldn't get clicking. You know, we took it upon ourselves to go out and just tell the defense, we got to go on, we got to play for the offense. And that's what we did, and I'm proud of them.
You look like a running back out there returning that ball.
Had to get in, had to get in.
You know, all the coaches stressed that we needed a pick, that we needed to make something happen in the secondary. And we knew LSU was going to come out throwing the ball. We just tried to make something happen, which we did.
Well, your return to go put them ahead was big.
Oh, yeah. You know, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We kept faith. We did what we had to do. Came out with the victory.
I think the offense owes you.
Hey, it's a team thing. They'll get it back later in the year. But for right now, it's a team thing, and we got the victory.
We always believe we was going to win, no matter what.
That's the thing about it. Defense, hey, when our offense ain't clicking, we got to click. They pull us along when we doing bad, we got to pull them along. And DB stepped up for what we had. Some freshmen to step up, Ken Alvis and all of them stepped up. Did a good job catching the ball.
You guys did a good job rushing the back.
Yes, sir. It was a team effort.
Yeah, this is the most exciting game of my whole career. I mean, the Alabama game wasn't much more exciting than this, and neither was the Florida game last year. But, you know, the defense, we just pulled together, you know, somehow, some way. We always believe that means we work hard every day in practice, and somehow, some way in the end, we're going to pull it through.
I know you've been in a lot of games, but you ain't never been in one like that.
No, never. I've never seen a defense score 20.
All but 3.
28 points? Is that right? Well, excuse me. The kicker missed one on one of our touchdowns. I got to get on him for that. But, boy, what a beautiful day.
Defense played hard, persevered. When offense went getting together, I think we played the best game we've ever played. And I'll tell you one thing, we got the best secondary in the nation.
Great football game. And never seen anything like it. They need to name you Defensive Player of the Week and Offensive Player of the Week this week.
Hey, Coach, he said he was having a slow start this year. I think he caught up today.
Well, I tell you what, I bet you if you go back and check by everybody else's standards, his start ain't been too slow. By his standards, they're pretty high, and they may be slow to him. But he's a great football player and a better young man.
The difference between an average season and a great season, Ziegler was in his 6th.
Testament to the Auburn fans that despite the game being on television and threatening weather, still 85,000 at Jordan-Hare.
I tell you, I think and very important that they were there too. You know, there where they had so many critical errors the LSU offense had. The noise you couldn't think. Mm-hmm. Great fans, great support. Glad they were there.
In fact, early in the game, when the crowd came up, LSU got a motion penalty.
That's right.
To begin the game, and
they had several penalties because of that. And again, the mistakes they made, a lot of those are made by noise. When they throw interceptions, they throw into coverage. It's hard to concentrate when you can't hear.
They got a pretty good drive going here to open the game.
Well, they took about 7 minutes on this drive. I know the defense blocked the field goal and kept no points. But I know the offense, for the first time we touched the ball, we had about 8 minutes left. And when you're not moving the ball on offense, it hurts you. But, boy, great play there. Defensively, again, so many plays. And, you know, another blocked field goal. I mean, another blocked field. They've had 2 blocked field goals, a blocked extra point. Especially teams, again, that area has been perfect. And the offense comes on. And we start out very well. It's, you know, there's so many things that happen. Here's to start out with a screen. Harold Marr finds a seam and almost takes it all the way. Gets it down to their tier in the very first play. And we think we've got a drive going. We've stopped them. Offense, we've got a drive going.
Here's a 3rd and 7. You get 6.
3rd and 7, get 6. Almost get the first down. But we get the ball in the short yardage.
On 4th and 1, go for it.
Quarterback sneak. You know, just probably a poor call on my part. We've been using the sneak so well. I thought it was about 6 inches. It was actually probably 2 feet. And we did not get it. And, you know, those are ones you wish you'd go back and run something else. But again, defense comes through again and aggressively attacks. Great pressure by the defensive line. that begins to set up things for our secondary later on in the game, as you see.
We're in the second quarter now.
Oh, I tell you.
A near fumble here ruled an incomplete pass.
Well, again, anytime we look at they look at the officials on their side and say, we got breaks, we look at the officials, we see the mistakes made both sides. The officials do as good a job as they can, and sometimes it goes your way, sometimes not. Nice catch by Frank Sanders. We're doing some things well offensively, but not near enough, and you'll see some plays there, and we just can't get all of it done. There's a great run by Steve Davis. Steve Davis averaged over 8 yards a carry in the first half, but when it came time for our offense to work, it wasn't getting done.
Move it to the 23 where the drive stalls, and Matt Hawkins kicks another field goal to make it 3-0 Auburn.
Matt Hawkins now 4 for 4 on field goals, and again, he's been a bright spot there. At kickoffs, he sun-kicked perfectly in those kickoffs to keep the ball away from there. Great return.
But the lead doesn't last long.
Watch the ball. It's tipped in the air and tipped right to their receiver. Went for the interception, and people say, how can that happen? Well, when you get 4 interceptions for touchdowns and say that's how it happens. You go for plays like that one. That one was tipped, went right to the receiver. He makes a great catch and run.
Auburn makes 1 first down, but the drive stalls. LSU on offense again.
There's a great defense. Marcellus Marstella there, Chris Schilling. Everyone just playing so hard. Great job there, Alonzo Etheridge. And now you'll see one of the first big plays right here. A big hit right there by Mike Pelton. He runs the ball, and Chris Schilling jumps on the football.
Look at it again, and you can see Pelton get his arm around the ball carrier.
Well, our defensive coaches, Kurt Crane, all of our coaches work so hard, Joe Wick, on stripping the football when they make a tackle. And then Chris Schilling with his pursuit of the football, and now we're up 9-7 in the second quarter.
Here comes their best drive of the day. This is a 17-play drive to get the lead back just before the half, and it was helped right there on a 3rd and 9 play where we got an interference.
Again, I don't consider those foolish penalties. That's an aggressive penalty. You'd like it not to happen, but it's part of how they play. Gary Walker, a big hit right there. But a 7-minute drive to open the game by LSU, a 17-play drive in the second quarter. We were not on the field very much offensively, but the defense kept making plays to hold them to field goal.
What amazes me is that as long as the defense played yesterday, Coach, they still had it at the end of the game.
Well, that was amazing. I mean, they were several of them had to go to the hospital to get dehydration, to get fluids, liquid back into their body. In the fourth quarter, as we'll see, I don't know how they were playing. They were on the field so long. Very seldom can you have the defense on the field like we had Saturday and win a football game.
What an effort it was. We'll be back in just a minute. Yes, what audacity the Auburn defense displayed yesterday. You need to get in on this audacity things, folks. Just explain the audacity.
Good news is that on the field, I was given the thumbs up by our doctors. I think he got hit in the head as well as his back. It's had some trouble, but everything was okay on the field. All the movement out there was precautionary, and we get 100%. Whether he's back tomorrow or next week, we don't know, but he's going to be fine.
Well, get back soon, Brian, and we'll be back for the second half. An exciting one in just a minute. Back into the second half of play now. The Auburn offense is sputtering, and LSU will make the most of it, Coach.
Well, I mean, up to this time, you haven't seen anything yet. Because, again, offensively, we didn't quite make anything happen. And, boy, you're going to see some fireworks. If they come out there and you see an interception here, the defense kept making plays and giving opportunities to us, but it wasn't going to be a day where we could be productive. And things just weren't working well for us. We have a good throw and catch here and a first down by Frank Sanders. But as we moved the ball down, it seemed like something would always go wrong. We had a miscue. Is this the fumble, possibly the fumble?
This is the fumble.
Where he's trying to throw the football, and it was stripped and picked up. But they faked the linebacker blitz, and our tackle jumped inside to take the linebacker. The defensive end came free. It's just a miscommunication, and puts their offense back on the field. There's another great fumble and hit by our defense. And Brian Robinson made big hit interception. Fumble recovery there. Great hit on the play. And another time the defense has jumped up and made the play.
Auburn is 3 and out, where LSU has the ball now at their own 38-yard line.
Well, there's just a series here where there's a beautiful play they throw on the flag route, but there's a series here where we just can't get anything done, and it's all LSU.
Here's a big play. 3rd and 1. Stop them.
Well, defense comes up, and what was critical here early, all these series where the defense held them to field goals and allowed just, I believe, 1 touchdown of all those points they got. Most of them were field goals.
13-9 now. They take the lead midway of the third quarter. Again, Auburn is 3 and out, and Kennison makes a great return, and so they're down deep again.
Well, like I say, the punt returns, there's the one touchdown they get up the middle for the score. You know, defense is on the field too long at this point, and everything is going LSU's way. They're about to do something in here again. Defense continually tries to make plays. I think what you'll see right here is after the great return, we hold them to a field goal, but you'll see now, I think you'll see a 14-point difference here, the longest of the day. And all I could think about was, can we offensively at least put one score together and score so that we can get this game to the last series and try to win it at the end. No one was giving up.
Here comes the beginning of the turnaround.
Here it is. Kenny Alvis, this is probably one of the most spectacular interception returns for a touchdown I've seen in a long time. Somebody that would not give up.
Man, he did it all himself, too. My goodness.
I think you see it in slow motion. You're going to see some great effort here on this play as you see him make this play. Kenny Alvis, a redshirt freshman out of Demopolis, Alabama.
You can tell the defensive guys are not accustomed to blocking, Coach.
Well, Kenny, as he continues to improve, is a tremendous athlete in size and strength and power. Looks like he might be a pretty good person on offense, too. If we can get something going, looks like he can make something happen.
From this point on, the defense lit up like you've never seen.
Well, a great job there again. Gary Walker and Willie Whitehead. Front four, I tell you, is pretty feisty up there.
3rd and 10 now. Here comes another big play.
Well, we were very fortunate that most of their pass routes were thrown over the middle. Fred Smith, I tell you, if anybody you want to see have a day like yesterday, Fred Smith, what he's overcome and the role he's had with this team is our nickelback, jumping right forward right there. And now we've got something going. It's getting kind of scary now for LSU and getting kind of the crowd. And you can't imagine the Auburn crowd where this was going on.
Matt Hawkins kicks a big tie of the game here at 23 now. 3rd and 3 coming up for LSU on their next possession.
You know, you got LSU a great credit. They would never gave up when things didn't work out. They make a big 3rd down play. They overmatch the short defender with the tall tight end, and they move the ball and kick the field goal to go ahead.
They're down on the goal line now. 1st and goal at the 8.
Well, defense continues to make plays.
Will be critical.
Oh, that's, again, the defense right here when they had to force them to a field goal, which they made. And again, it looked like LSU might have done enough because, again, it would take a miracle at this point. Damian Krebs, we have him in because the offense is not clicking. We hope one person may make a big play. And it wasn't that Pat Nix was not doing good. We just were looking for one person to make a play. But a big punt, big 52-yard punt at the critical time, just like against Ole Miss.
Good coverage.
Defense does a great job of getting on him there.
Yeah, great coverage.
John Cohen again making a big play, and now we're into the most maybe unbelievable part, the last 5 minutes or 3 minutes. They're running out the clock. We've used all of our timeouts now.
At this point, you take your 3rd one. That's 2 minutes
to go. That's it. If they get a first down, it's over. If they just do anything to get a first down, it's over. There it is right there.
Harris, I believe, tipped that ball up in the air.
Unbelievable. I got to be careful. Last year, they would have called that for celebration. Well, they did that twice, but they haven't called it this year, but we better go correct that. You just hate to get angry with anyone after such performance, but they come right back.
Yep.
And again, I do feel sorry for the players at LSU because they played so well. I don't feel like I hate what I feel for them, but again, credit goes to our defense, the way they played, and to our football team. And this is where you feel like it's a bad dream. You see the young man coming to the side. We get the interception to win the game. They followed it. Now they still have it with 50 seconds left and can win the game. And
you were pleading for that ball to get out of bounds.
Oh, and they just keep on going.
They complete another pass
Great
now with
catch.
about just a few seconds left now.
I think 16 seconds left right here. They have one more play with 16 seconds left. Defense is still trying to rush and so tired. They still try to rush. And there's the pass on Chris Schilling. Goes up, makes another interception, and it's over. And it's I guess 6 interceptions, 4 for touchdowns, 8 or 9 turnovers. The most remarkable defensive play probably in the history of Auburn. The most touchdowns scored in the NCAA, title record for the most touchdowns ever scored in NCAA by a defense. People that were at that football game got to experience something that's very seldom ever seen.
Back in just a minute.
For hard-hitting transportation provided by Delta Airlines, the choice of the Auburn Tigers. You'll love the way we fly.
East Tennessee State next week. We'll see you then.
Coach Bowden's apparel provided by The Locker Room.
The Auburn Tigers extended their streak to 15 this afternoon at Jordan-Hare Stadium, beating up the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State. Stephen Davis got it started in the first quarter with a 40-yard touchdown run on the toss sweep. Tigers led it 7-0, and that was just the beginning. After a Mike Pelton interception from the 28, Patrick Nix airs it out to Frank Sanders, and a fine catch by number 81, Auburn up 14-0. And Fred Smith picked off a pass, which set up another Nix TD, this one to Thomas Bailey. Tigers led it 24-zip at the half. They beat the Bucks 38-0. Terry Bowden still unbeaten as Auburn's head coach.
2-yard gain on the play.
Very pleased. I could have seen us be lethargic. I could have seen us not take it seriously. This team was a very good team. I've coached enough 1AA there. They played hard. They were not panicking. They came out with 1 minute. They came out, mixed it up. They blitzed us all over the place. We methodically took it to them. Defense never had a bad series. Offensively, we made big plays. We got our lead. We took advantage of opportunities.
Alabama
today. And the number 10 team in the country went right to work. Auburn calls on Stephen Davis. He's 40 yards out, but he'll make a nice cut upfield. There he goes. He's closing in that goal line. Touchdown, Tigers. East Tennessee tries to set up the screen. Check this out. Look what happens. Mike Pelton not only doesn't rush, he lays back waiting for the pass. The down lineman with the INT. How about that? Patrick Nick is back to pass. Now, Patrick was bummed out after that LSU game. Chances are Nick's feeling a little better tonight. Nix puts it up for Frank Sanders. Lets Frank run under. Nix with another touchdown pass, and this time he kind of swings it out there to Thomas Bailey. Let Thomas weave in and out of the blocker. Sanders got in there through a great block, too. Auburn running away with it. Second half, Damian Craig looks just confused enough to have the defense think they've got something. Then he unloads a strike. Another touchdown. Auburn wins it 38-0.
We had a lot of incentive to play hard. We played very hard. There was no letdown. There was no taking it easy. Well, how does it help you? Our defense got their people off the field in the second half. They had 90 snaps last week, so our defense probably got no more than 30 snaps. Defense had 24 snaps at halftime. So in that regard, it helped us. We were able to play second-teamers.
Looking around at the SEC scoreboard.
There's a snap by Robic. Rolling left is Nix. He throws. Ball is caught by Bailey behind the defender at the 20 to the 15 to the 10. And he'll walk in. Touchdown, Auburn! 1, 2, 3, 4.
Business-like day out there. Good business-like day out there, man. I thought they played pretty dang well. I've been a lot 1AA league a long time, and they played pretty well. Defense, way to do it. Way to go out there and play the whole game, and play the whole game hard. But the offense, great job. I mean, I thought they did a pretty good job out there. We took it to them, kept going. Got to play a lot of people. Got better. We back doing some of the stuff we did well, got better. That's what I like to see. Now, we got a big week. We got a short week in front of us now. Tomorrow, we're going to go through with my list. We're going to go with the meeting at 1 o'clock tomorrow. We have to move it up because we got to meet at 1, and we got to go out with some kicking stuff tomorrow afternoon. Because we got to go Tuesday, Monday, and Tuesday, and we're through. Because we play on nothing on Wednesday and go on Thursday. Man, we got to have great mental concentration. We won't be able to get much in regard to full gear this week now. We're lucky to get 1 day. We got to mentally be sharp. We are what now? With 15-0. I lost 15, man. 15. That's still number 1, man. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud of everybody.
This is the Auburn Football Review with Coach.
And welcome to the Auburn Football Review. Number 15 in a row yesterday, a 38-0 win over East Tennessee State University. Terry Bowden, you announced a kind of a mid-course correction in the offense early last week and seemed to work well.
Well, you know, we made big plays. I think we went back and did some things that we've done well in the past. Saw a lot of good execution, played very hard, and then some guys scored from a long way out.
That was the key, some big plays this week, something you've been looking for.
Well, I think to have your offense produce like it needs to, you're going to have some long plays. It is very difficult to have a 12-play drive or an 8-play drive. But a 1-play, 60-yard drive is not very hard to coach. And when you get those, boy, it just makes things happen.
Going to see some offense today. We'll show you that in just a minute. Right now, let's go to the Auburn dressing room right after the game.
Well, we wanted to go back to, more to the basics of what's gotten us here instead of, getting too fancy or anything like that. We went back today and we really executed. We did a good job executing. There was a few plays where we didn't. I didn't. The other guys didn't. But, that's going to happen in games. We've just got to keep working and keep trying to, get it better.
Yeah, like you said, I got a lot of snaps in the first couple of games. If anything happened, an emergency I have to go in, I think I'll be ready.
Our formation, run it at them, play action pass. You got to stop the run. You put 8 men in the box. We're going to hit Frank and Thomas on the outside. So we're feeling pretty good about this offense.
I believe you had more catches today than you've ever had.
Well, I guess it was just a good day for me. Offensive line did a great job of giving Patrick time. Pat did a good job of getting the ball where it needed to be. And I guess I was on the end and just a lot of receiving.
I learned a lot. That was my first time getting in a game. And, I learned a lot. Most of the upperclassmen was helping me and telling me if I didn't know the play or something what to do.
What was the idea to get you a snap or so that in case?
Just in case, yes, sir. Just in case something happens to Terry in another game. That's all it was.
Got a couple of good hits?
Yeah.
Is the knee feels all right?
Yeah, it's always been feeling stable. It's just been a little sore, but tonight it felt the best it's felt all season, so hopefully I'll be playing a lot more.
Defense played a full 60 minutes, and that was the sum of it.
Congratulations on the shutout. That's always nice.
Oh, yeah, it's always nice.
You look like you read that one pretty good. You stepped up just right.
Yeah, I kind of read it. He did it 2 times in a row, the same pattern. We was in a different coverage, and I kind of baited him inside, and I jumped inside on him, and the ball was there.
Well, it was just one of those times I was just in the right place at the right time.
Pretty good, though. You got that hand up there and stopped that ball. You look like you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, I used to be a basketball player, reaching up for the rebound. That's all it was. But Coach told me that week if he let you go, that he's going to probably run the screen against, and I just took my read and just picked it off.
Greg, they like that down in Goshen. Scary last week.
Yes, sir, it was. I didn't mean to scare you. I never saw him. I've had so many people tell me if they would have heard me yelling, they were yelling, they saw him, but I never saw him. And I appreciate it, all the prayers and all the people writing and everything. I just want to tell them thanks.
You notice that Tiger Talk is on Wednesday night this week rather than the usual Thursday. That's because, of course, of the Kentucky game on Thursday night this week. So you'll be holding forth one night earlier. That's going to mess up anything, Coach?
Not really. We've got to change our practices. We have to go everything earlier. It's going to mess up some of our fans' days, but we'll all be able to pull it off.
Thursday night for the Kentucky game. Great crowd at Auburn yesterday. Beautiful weather, almost fall-like weather.
Beautiful, it really was. I was so proud of our crowd showing up and thinking there'd be bad weather, afraid of it.
Tommy Agee?
Tommy Agee back. Stan White was back. We had pro day.
Yeah.
I think must have had a week off for a lot of people. And then we come back out and you'll see us run the counter play. And Steve Davis gets in that secondary. Boy, looking good right there. 16 carries, 128, 20-something yards. Line blocked real well for Steve.
Missed the field goal. And this is their first possession.
Scares you to death when you miss a 7.5-minute drive and miss a field goal. Defense just never had a bad series.
3rd and 4 here.
Good pressure
Near
there.
interception.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those right on the line there. Brian Robinson had his feet right there. Being that Fisher was probably as close to anybody, so it's probably not a question that a toe was out. You don't miss it quite that close.
They get a great punt and have you backed up. This is a great play.
Oh, 3rd and 12. I tell you, Pat Nix made a beautiful rollout pass for a big play to Frank Sanders, who caught, I think, 8 passes for 97 yards. Then big Joe Frazier piles it through there for short yardage and makes a tough short yardage play. Fullbacks had a good day Saturday.
Here's 3rd and 3.
We stretch the sweep here. Steve Davis cuts it back, gets a fine block by Joe Frazier. You get to see it. Shannon Robeek going to come back, and Steve Davis makes the big play. You'll see it right here. You'll see the big kick out by Joe Frazier, and Shannon Robeek blocking back, and Steve just not going to be caught from behind very often.
Steve had a big day, a couple of big runs. 7-0 now. We're still in the first quarter. 3 straight plays on defense.
Oh, Marcellus Marstella there. I did a great job making that tackle. Big hit, and I think you're going to see Jason Miska come back with another run, and Miska makes a big jarring tackle there. And you see the defense piling around. Again, defense was steady 4 quarters, gave up 120 yards of offense for the entire day.
3rd and 13. Watch him deny him the first down.
Chris Shutt, there's an outstanding open field tackle.
Wow.
If man falls forward, he gets the first down. And you knock him backwards, he doesn't.
Pat Nix made some great throws yesterday.
Just a fine throw. He's throwing a lot of confidence, zipping that ball in there. And, boy, I tell you, I'm so glad of him because of all the typical controversies that people like to have at the quarterback position. I think we showed that there was none out there. The only interception there, a tip ball, tipped it right to the defender. Boy, sometimes you'd wish the ball was just overthrown completely, then be close enough to be tipped. It was kind of like their chance to have a drive, but the defense tightened up again.
They put together a couple of first downs in a pretty critical situation.
Well, there's Mike Pelton, intercept the middle screen. Mike did a great job. The old young man from Goshen made his first interception, I believe, from the defensive line position. Wrapped it up because of last week we had that one fumble back to LSU.
Yeah.
I saw him wrap it up there.
3rd and 6. Yeah, he looked like a running back. Big play there.
You know, we were 9 of 16 on 3rd downs. And boy, you can win ball games because that's every time you make a 3rd down, you can continue to have a drive. Joe Frazier rips one off up the middle. We held Harold Morrow out, had a sore shoulder. Harold Morrow was held out, though. Should be full speed by Kentucky this Thursday night.
Watch Frank ride this receiver.
Another big play. He just rides his outside shoulder. Patrick, beautiful outside shoulder throw. Leaves himself some room on the sideline. That's what you need to have. We missed one against Ole Miss, missed one against LSU. There's our team up in the box there.
The network guys.
The network guys.
Trotman and et al.
Another great tackle, Chris Schilling, and the defense moving well. You see a lot of new numbers out there as the defense moves along. Still getting good pressure there. There's Fred's interception. Again, they went to it too many times. He saw him hit that thing once, then twice, and then Fred just baited him. It looked like it's open, and then jumped right and play. Getting a lot of good plays out of Fred Smith.
This is 3rd and 1.
Short yardage. There's the sweep. Goes to the score. They're going to call it back by a downfield holding call. What happened, one of our linemen blocked a guy so far downfield. Usually you can grab a hole a little bit on the line of scrimmage. You can't do it downfield. 4th down and 3. They go for the intercept. That's what happens when a young man doesn't go for the tackle and intercept. Big play by Pat Nix. Catch by Bailey Thomas. And the score. Good block by Frank Sanders there also. Very pleased with those two receivers and the quarterback. That makes the I formation go.
The two seniors having a good day. 2nd and 6 at the 25.
And again, the defense is doing a good job moving in the entire defense. We're trying now. I tell you, it was a great.
Just before the half now. Pressure from outside. Kelsey Crook,
almost blocked it, and they shank it off and give us the ball back with 40-something seconds. And we put our 1-minute offense in, no huddle, and move it down there, and we're able to get a 45-yard field goal attempt, and there the kick is, and Matt Hawkins drills the 45-yarder with a lot of room to spare.
His longest of the year, and we'll be back in just a moment. This report.
I tell you, a lot of good things happening at Auburn. Football is what we talk about all the time, but so many other things that are so much vitally more important to the purpose of Auburn University.
You're right. What a great institution. We'll be back with the second half action in just a minute.
Whatever uniforms.
Reestablish control, first series, second half, which we did, and then play some people. Defense had about 50 snaps for the whole day. That's all we wanted to have. I'd say the first team only had about 30 snaps, 24 at halftime. Offensively, 80 snaps, played a lot of people, so it worked out perfectly. And these games don't always do that. Too many times you get into struggles with these young fighting 1AA teams. But boy, the team played continually well the most of the day.
Such a solid defensive effort yesterday.
Yeah, it was just consistent. It was so consistent. You know, we were proud to see our offense get such a productive day. There's a big Larry Melton, a freshman out of Georgia. Their first one on the ball, but the pressure, the quarterback, the punter had a little pressure, and it went right through his hands.
Watch the blocks on this play.
Every hat put on everybody. People wonder why you run that quarterback sneak. You do it so they'll pinch and let the sweep walk in. So they combine very well on that. But now the defense, now you'll see some new faces in there. Of course, you've got Pelton. This thing is a series or so for the defense to get one more series to shut them down. Mike Pelton again there.
3rd and 9. You know, I think Mike Cavan is running the football at this point because he doesn't want to beat his team up.
That's right. He's made some choices here to protect his team. He's got a tough conference game, and he knows he can't get back in it. But again, I love my hats off to him the way they play. I recognize good play out of the 1AA league. He's got a fine coach team. Good. There's Tyrone Goodson, a big catch there.
Now you're looking at your young quarterback.
Yeah, Damian Craig. Again, the one reason we cannot stop throwing, even though you're winning, because this guy needs to work. Watch this little scramble here. He's just so fun to watch. I mean, I don't think people have to worry if he's second, and they just like watching him.
4th and 2 coming right here.
There's a big touchdown. But watch out, just quick little scramble. Pops the softball up there right there. And another big touchdown to Willie Gaucher on the 4th down, and a nice touchdown pass from Damian Craig. And I think that's why you see so many people cheering when he goes in. He's an exciting quarterback. You know, whether you whether you think he's ready or not. Boy, nice big hit there by Bobby Daffin. Ricky Neal, number 44, one of our freshman linebackers, almost had the ball land up in his arms. You'll see some new face. Boy, Otis Mounts, good to see him back.
Yeah,
and fought through some injury and making a big hit there. I think once he gets himself back to full form, it's another good deal. Good situation there. Who was that?
Andre Miller.
Andre Miller getting a good tackle there now. And you're seeing Terrence Crowder at linebacker, Andre Miller, Shannon Suttle at defensive end. Again, here's a little move the pocket around. Boy, he just kind of dropped in. They covered the short pass. He dropped it to Willie Gaucher. And some of these young guys, I'm glad we can see those players getting some good plays.
Here's McLeod running the football.
Kevin McLeod, the big freshman fullback. He's about 225-pound freshman. Very good athlete, good hands. You're seeing we held out Harold Morrow, like I said, and the line blocks real well. Got to play on them, and came out of there healthy. Nobody injured in the ball game. Came out with a short week that we've got to practice early so we can get rested up for Kentucky.
We'll have more about that in just a minute. Jordan-Hare date with the University of Kentucky is unusual. It is a Thursday night game on ESPN, and Coach, that causes quite a shift in your practice schedule, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not, again, Thursday night, the TV game, national TV, our third television game, but it does cause a shift and makes it a little bit difficult for us and our fans, but it's something, again, a national TV game, something that we need. But
you work today?
We'll work a little bit this afternoon after church. We'll go in and work a little bit on Sunday. Then Monday and Tuesday will be our Tuesday, Wednesday days, and we'll try not to do much on Monday, and Tuesday, and Wednesday, we'll try not to do much for the Thursday night game.
Mm-hmm. And remember now, that's a 7 o'clock start at Jordan-Hare Stadium. And also, don't forget about the LSU video. The game that you'll want to remember is on tape now, and you can get it at Parisian stores all over the state of Alabama, all the Auburn bookstores, and you can call this number to order your tapes. It's 1-800-240-3026. Give them a call this week, and they'll give you all the information you need to make your orders and get you several for those Auburn fans that you want to remember at Christmas. Coach, this is a 3-game run now through the conference. It's very vital to your success this year.
Without a doubt. It starts with Kentucky right now. We get back in the conference, and it doesn't get any easier. You saw Kentucky is one that's starting to play a little bit better. They lost a tough one to South Carolina. Mississippi State beats Tennessee.
Yep.
And then Florida is Florida.
Florida is Florida.
Florida is Florida. And so we've got to take them one at a time. Our team's playing better, but it takes the entire team playing very, very well together. And again, I think we had a good week against East Tennessee.
No Auburn football preview this week because of the Thursday game, but we'll be back here next week at the same time with the replay of Auburn, Kentucky. Thank you.
At the 36, O'Farrell with the play fake, going to roll out, going to throw, intercepted. Alvis at the 35, 30, 20, 10. He's gone. Touchdown, Auburn!
That's one of those you just took charge early. Offense, you got a little bit of chance first half to get on that field. The defense, you didn't give us a chance to get on that field. You're scoring points every time you get on that field. It's the only people who can't outscore is on defense. We're trying, though. But it's a good win. Game got so far ahead, got a little sloppy at the end, but, man, it's fun. It's fun to win. Man, I'm proud of you. Good win. We got Mississippi State, man. Right. Mississippi State, they go out there and beat Tennessee. We say a lot when we go to start. We can say a lot. Let's get ready to go. Let's get ready for a big win. We're putting ourselves in position. It's because of what y'all are doing.
Welcome on a Thursday night at Jordan-Hare. Auburn whips Kentucky 41-14, number 16 in a row. And Coach Sherrill liked that one because you went out and took control of the game and everybody could be calm and collected.
Yeah, my wife does not like the close games. After LSU, she wanted one like this. But it was a game where we had an opportunity to take control. Offense did very well first. Defense went out and scored points again. Other than keeping themselves on the field too long by scoring defensive touchdowns, we did what we needed to do. A little sloppy at the end with some penalties, but sometimes that comes when you play down to a situation.
The way the Auburn defense is playing, time of possession is a meaningless statistic, isn't it?
Well, it is, and total yardage. I mean, because we were not on the field. We're having a great offensive night. We've got 4 plays in the third quarter, and we can't get on the field. But again, so many players played so hard, and a good win. It's a conference win, a win that got us ready for going to start for next week.
The road gets tougher. Let's go in the dressing room.
We did what we needed to do. You know, our defense, they quit scoring so much and give us the football. We might have a chance to produce a little bit more, but you know,
trying to lead the team in scoring.
I told them today we outscored them today, so that we accomplished our goal. If we go out and outscore our defense, we're scoring some points.
You didn't know it was a lateral, but you wasn't going to take a chance.
I didn't hear the whistle. I wasn't going to take a chance. You know, last time I had that close, Chris stole it from me, and last week I intercepted one. Everybody told me I should have took that one back, but this week I wasn't going to try to let this one get by. So I just fell on it and luckily it was a touchdown.
We've been working on that play all week, talking about it might be over way to take a linebacker's play. And then when I got out there, I was surprised to be so wide open and shot me. That was all I was saying. Don't drop the ball because it's on national TV.
I think we was moving it pretty good, you know, overall. And, you know, we had some penalties there late in the game that really cost us some yardage.
You were getting it done inside in those early drives.
Yeah, we were getting it done inside. I think the offense did a good job. You know, we just made some mistakes, some holding penalties here, fumble here, just things that we can correct.
Yeah, it's going down to Mississippi State and Florida, 2 away games. And they'll probably be 2 of the biggest games we had this season, so I'm looking forward to it. And I think offense is going to be ready.
First touchdown in 2 years.
First touchdown in, what, 2 years, 4 weeks?
1993. Yeah,
2 years, 4 weeks. I can't remember the exact time, but it's a good one.
The belly play was working. Did you feel like you all could run it back to the weak side and get something out of it?
Well, we weren't really looking to run it back to the weak side. We were just looking for the hole, and that guy just played it so far upfield that he gave it to us every time. And every time I hit it, it was there.
Haven't heard about once a...
Bit of electricity in the air on Thursday night at Jordan-Hare. National TV cameras there. Pretty good crowd for a weeknight.
Well, it's hard to get everybody there early from work. But I tell you, our students, the students were great. They were there early. Coach Curry there. We knew so many people on their staff. We've had many coaches work together on our staff, the Kentucky staff, and I sure hope they can pull out. They're having some tough times right now. Hope they can pull out. But students were great. They were.
They stayed all night.
They stayed, and from what I could hear afterwards, they probably stayed all night afterwards.
Yeah.
I think.
They were having a
defense was swarming, though. I tell you, our defense just they swarmed to the football. They were not going to let Kentucky establish the run. Kentucky, second half, had a couple of big plays. Their outstanding back tackle there, Mike Pelton, another fine night. Jason Miska, 14 tackles, the player of the game for ESPN, and Thomas Bailey now making a nice run, return there on the punt. Had a real good day on the punt return.
Start out with a penalty though to kill the first drive.
Yeah, you know, we had a holding penalty on the very good. This is the only drive of the first half. We start with the 1st and 25, and we could not overcome 15-yard penalties. Defense comes right back, and Buddy sets the tempo defensively.
Etheridge and
Etheridge and a host of all the defensive Gary Walker. And there's a little bit of a show again there. Marstella makes a couple of plays here. You see our Brian Robinson. We had to play our safeties very close. When you do that, you've got to play good coverage, because it puts back receivers on one-on-one. But you can see the pressure there. Now here's Marstella again covering a wide receiver.
I got it.
Across the middle.
He can run.
Now, yeah, he's one of the best athletes in our defense as far as speed and athletic ability.
Okay, here comes the drive.
There's Steve Davis. He had a great first half. Got his bell rung, I guess is the word. I don't want to say more dangerous than that, but played him only in the first half, but had about 10 yards of carry.
Had 71 yards in the first half.
Well, they were worried about the nakeds and reverses, and you'll see the inside runs hurt because you'll see the ends go upfield all night. We watch all these runs you'll see the backside defensive end going upfield looking for the outside, and that opens things up inside, and you'll see that all night. And so when they do that, they were concerned about us running the nakeds. I call nakeds the naked bootlegs. And that allows the inside game to produce. No passes in this drive, all runs. There's our man Joe Frazier, who's played every position on the team, picking up good yardage between the tackles.
Boy, the interior linemen were walling down and just cleaning it out.
Well, the sprint draw and the fullback handoff work very well when the ends go upfield, and Steve got hit pretty hard. That's probably where he got hit in the head. He was a little bit droozy from that point on, and we did not play him or Randy Fuller in the second half.
Their free safety is a big-time player.
Hit is a hard hitter. He'll hit you, and they should be both ready for next week, though.
So it's an 82-yard drive. Stephen Davis runs 53 of the 82 yards.
Well, it is. Mike Pelton, Anthony Harris again. Defense again setting the tempo, and we had a great combination last night, offense and defense. And if we can both continue to complement each other, we're gonna have a chance to beat some football teams. There's a little shuffle pass, a 3rd and 6, and Steve makes 7. Great running there by Steve Davis. And again, I think people are seeing that he is becoming a very, very, very good back. So we keep our drive going now. We throw the screen to Harold Morrow. Our fullbacks this year have a little bit of speed. You'll see right here. Having the speed at that back, we got him healthy again. He missed last week with a sore shoulder, and now puts us in position.
4th and 7.
But we have a 4th and 7. We fake it and use the fake punt here. And let him break that tackle, get 8 yards. Kurt Crane put that play in this week. He handles the punt team. Talked to me on Wednesday. I said, Kurt, between the 40s, let me know. This was still a close game, 7-0. Right. That was a big play. There's the quarterback and the receiver recognizing a blitz. We make no checkoffs. It's called a side adjustment, and they complete the side adjustment, and the blitz can't hurt you.
And there's 2nd and 13 after a 5-yard penalty.
Frank Sanders just fighting for yardage. He's really improving his stock now as far as his potential as an athlete, because he fights so hard to make plays.
He's so good in a crowd with the ball.
Well, he's very physical. He loves to play. Steve Davis in the all-tackle sweep that we run and sticks in the end zone. And now, because of the fake punt, the running of our offense, we're up 14-0.
Running to Willie and Andy's side on that touchdown.
There's a safety on the line of scrimmage. You know you better be throwing the football when your safeties are making tackles on the line of scrimmage without blitzing. And we let them know we were going to do that. And what do? They go over top. But Dale McGee, one of the fastest men on our team, you know, he does a good job.
Great position. Here's 3rd and 6. Here comes the big play.
Well, there's there's their little bootleg. Ken Alvis breaks in front. Is this going to be some old hat for our defense? Jack Hines in his secondary, again, playing aggressive football. Don't lose the game. That can go both ways, but it's been all ours.
How many touchdowns has the defense scored in the last 3 games?
It's amazing. And again, I'd say I've never seen it, but Coach Hines has worked for me 8 years, and the style that he's brought to Coach Hall's defense has been very complimentary to that. Fred Beasley now playing for Steve Davis, a good run there.
This is just before the half. They've just missed a field goal.
We were going to run the clock out, but we got a big play right there. All of a sudden, we didn't want to turn the ball over, so let's go down and try to kick a field goal. We'll get a good screen down here, but another holding. And like I said, those penalties, you know, you have a good game. Sometimes you get a little penalties like that. We'll get the players' attention this week. We got something to jump on them about. And it's that penalties that we had on offense.
The coach didn't like that too much.
No, we're going to straighten that out. We didn't look good on national TV.
We'll be back in just a minute.
I personally shell for history, and I just like to hear it when the cracking voice of
Jim Fife.
Jim Fife, yeah, I forgot the name. When his voice crack. First I heard his voice crack on touchdown Auburn, and that's one for the library right there.
Tiger Talk gets back on the regular schedule this week now that we are by the Thursday night game. So Tiger Talk will be on on Thursday night at 7, the usual time. And don't forget the Tiger Tailgate show for the big game at Starkville, Mississippi this Saturday. Tiger Tailgate on the air at 1 o'clock. Back with the second half in just a minute. When it comes to half now, I want to say something about the students, Coach. Whoa, were they ever more terrific in the second half?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the students they came to play football, to represent Auburn, and to be wild. They were painted. They were there. They were long. I love them. They do a great job. I try to spend a little time with them after games when I can, but love to see them out there. Made a big impression on America last night.
This was a great punt. I think Harold Morrow tipped it back, kept it inbounds, kept it in play, and then, of course, Princeton got it.
Yeah, Terry Daniels did a great job. Sacrificed some of his national average, punting average for the perfect kicks, but that's going to do a lot for our team and for his stock.
Didn't you just know something was going to happen down here?
Every time our defense gets somebody inside that 5, there's their defense, pour a handoff, they get the ball. I think the only fighting was our guys among each other because not sure what the colors for the ball.
Miska gets the hit, and then Anthony Harris gets the ball.
So we got one play. We've got 4 offensive plays now. We want him to see the ball now for the rest of the quarter because the defense, they score the next time. If they gave us to there for a one-play drive, then as you'll see, we don't even get the ball back. Here's the next drive. Our defense in there again. Scrambling, putting some heat on the quarterback, almost intercepted right here. Beautiful play there. Chris Schilling still playing outstanding football, play after play, had some big hits. Right here, you'll see the quarterback throw a swing pass, but it's behind it's a lateral. And you'll see Mike Pelton jumps on it, does not hear a whistle as he said. That's a touchdown, another one for our defense.
And the offense on the sideline says, give me the ball, give me the ball.
Well, you know, you tell your defense, play hard and you won't have to do many snaps. Well, they play hard, score a touchdown, they have to go back on. They get 70 or 80 snaps again, and the offense is playing really well. And so it was kind of nothing you can do, but they get a lot of experience. Look at the way they run. I enjoy the way they run and play hard football.
You need to call them the Blue Bandits.
Well, they're playing hard football, and down the road we've got to continue to play like this. And you know, it makes a statement. This is a fine play by their quarterback. He was scrambling, saw an open receiver, laid it in the air, and got them a touchdown now. And although the outcome of the game is not in question, the score, I think, is what everybody is. But defense.
They were aided by a 15-yard penalty in that drive, too.
Right, exactly. We had a hit, and again, it was one that the quarterback went down, and he got back up thinking he was still up, and he got hit for a late hit. And Pelton again running the quarterback down.
Fourth quarter now. Damian Craig is the quarterback.
You'll see a beautiful pass over the middle of Thomas. Almost got his head taken off there, but Thomas bailed a nice throw from Damian Craig, and now we're getting a lot of people in. There's the quarterback draw, and Damian makes that guy miss, and again, that's what he does so well. Run our offense, but make people miss.
You go for it on fourth down, don't make it on this drive.
Just barely missed it. Now, we've got a lot of substitutions in there now, but they're getting a lot of valuable work. And defensively the same way, got a lot of substitutions, and their young backup quarterback making a good run there. A lot of new faces right there. Otis Mounds, good to see him making the tackle. There's Luster, Ramon Luster. Larry Melton, here's the touchdown by him. Hard fought, pulled him back, Bobby Daffin, but Kentucky fights hard, gets them another touchdown to get to 14 points.
Okay, we're late in the game now. Here comes the onside kick.
Frank Sanders is always thinking. Jumps up, takes a slow onside kick, almost scores with it. And we've got a chance now. I'm just trying to run the clock out. You run your little quarterback naked so you don't throw the ball, you don't waste any handoffs. Except when you do that with Damian Craig, you know, you'll see. Now, here's our Kevin McLeod, our freshman fullback, getting a good run up the middle.
You can't tell him not to play hard, can you?
No, and then when you get your quarterback out there scrambling, he's running the clock out, but you can't tell this guy to fall down. And, boy, does a great job making people miss. Gets his first touchdown into the end zone, and great job. And I think he's excited. Pat Nix had a great day. He comes off the bench, adds some spark to us. Got that thing set up pretty good now.
And Larry Milton will get his name in the Auburn
True
record.
freshman Larry Milton out of Georgia, one of the fastest young men on the team, and got his interception, and defense is still throwing those interceptions up there thanks to the good pass rush, and that finished it up.
You get the feeling that that's not the last one Milton will have.
No, he's going to play a lot of football at Auburn down the road. His name we don't want to forget.
All right. It was a good, solid victory over Kentucky, and we'll be back to talk about the tough road ahead for the Tigers after these words. Hey, the road gets tough now. I would guess you would call this the meat of the schedule coming up, Coach.
Well, you put yourself in a situation now where this becomes a big one. Mississippi State has shown what they can do, knocking off Tennessee. We're going into a hostile environment. We want to take it up a notch now, correct the mistakes on the penalties. Defense continue to improve. Everybody's got to be sharp now. We're getting to a very, very tough game. Big game, ABC.
This is a good football team. They stumbled against LSU at Baton Rouge, but otherwise they've been solid. Derek Tate has become a good quarterback.
It'll be the biggest team that we play all year, a team that's on a roll, a team that can challenge for their division. And we have no illusions. We're going into a war, a battlefield. And I think our players will be there. I think our fans are going to get excited about this one.
Okay, how have you used this time off?
Well, it's been good. We were able to take off on Friday and Saturday, study films. We coaches didn't. We got our game plans down. So now on Monday, tomorrow, we're going to be able to do a little bit more than just kicking. So we'll be about a half a day ahead as far as our preparation, but more importantly, some freshness, some rest as we get to these next tough games in our season.
2 days makes a lot of difference in this time of year.
Really does. The players can relax, and you don't know how many bruises can heal in 2 days.
So it's a big one this Saturday. The Auburn faithful will be there, I'm sure, in pretty good numbers. I'm not sure how many, but usually Auburn takes several thousand to Starkville, and it really makes a difference.
Well, we'll take our ticket allotment, and we better get them all, because those cowbells will probably be sounding, even though they're not supposed to.
And we'll remind you once again that we're back to the regular schedule for Auburn programs. The Tiger Talk program will be on the air as usual next Thursday night, and then the Auburn Network will be on the air with the Tailgate Show at 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon from Starkville, Mississippi. And, of course, we'll be back here next week with the replay of Auburn, Mississippi State as the Tigers go for, can you believe it, 17 in a row. And join us, by the way, on Saturdays before the SEC telecast on most stations for the Auburn football preview. We'll see you next week.
Coach Bowden's apparel provided by the
Nick's waiting for the snap. He's got it. Nick steps up in the pocket, fires complete to Sanders at the 7. He fights off a tackle at the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Auburn!
That's right.
Oh, let's get it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That was the way it's supposed to be there now. That's the way a championship team does it now. There were no questions, ain't no discussions. Defense, I tell you, if I wish the score would be like, I wish it was nothing, because you just killed them. Don't worry about it. You just killed them. Offense, when you execute, can you see? Can you see, man, when you execute? Hey, fellas, we're going to Gainesville next week. You're 6-0. And we're going to Gainesville. And, man, let's get to work. Let's get to work. We've done it before. We'll just go do it again.
A lot of enthusiasm in that song they were singing, because it was one I think the players realized that, boy, we played a good game today.
I think they were as ready to play as I've seen them.
Well, boy, the execution was so fine. I mean, defensively, playing so well, offensively, clicking on all of your passing and your running. When you put it all together, you can really see how good this team can be.
Yeah, I can't recall a game where the offense and the defense complemented one another more.
I think back to the LSU game last year. The way that game was played and the way this one was played, although this one started out so much faster, it still has to be overall probably the best performance of the 17 that we played all in one game.
Yeah, tremendous. We'll go in the dressing room now, and then we'll see some of it.
Do you like it in a crowd?
I like it. I like it. The tougher catches are the ones you really enjoy the most, because you work so hard on trying to make them. When you have to get pat the line, I mean, all offense was clicking hard today. Real good there.
I think Pat's going to start looking to see if you covered, and then if you covered, he's going to throw it.
Well, I believe he has a lot of confidence in me, and I have confidence in him. He made some good throws. He put me in good position where I can make catches in them crowds. So, I mean, he helped me out a lot.
We sort of took it offensively. Everybody said we couldn't come in here and win, and offense has been taking on the chin for a while, but I think that we came in here and executed, and that's what we wanted to come do. And we showed that if we execute, sort of what we can do. And we're very happy right now, very proud of ourselves. But we got a long way to go. We still got to keep working. We got to go right back tomorrow and get back to work, because we got a big one this coming week, very big one, and we know it.
The timing was great to have a good, solid performance like this.
Oh, exactly. We need this, this win, this big win, our offense to execute like we did today, to go into Florida and hopefully do the same thing. Hopefully carry over to Florida.
And the catch for the first touchdown was about for them.
Yep, that's the first time we ran that play all season, and we executed it well.
The key to the game was to come out the football today. Offensive line coming off and do our job, blocking, run blocking. Against Steve Davis in the secondary, giving Patrick Nick's time to hit Frank, and Thomas. That's pretty much our game plan. Come right straight at them, run the ball. They expecting a physical game. We gave them a physical game.
We executed properly. We did proper assignments, and everything just worked out well for us today. It was just unbelievable.
It was going to be a physical game from the start. We came out, we knew we were going to play aggressive, so basically that's all we did. Came out and played ball.
It took a lot of hard work. That was a big guys. 330, 380, 325. I never seen a line that big before. Never in my life.
Shoot, our offense, they got off to a great start. And every turnover we had, they turned into points. And, the team just played like a team today. And I feel like our offense really came together as a team today and started playing. And, had some, it looked like flashbacks to last year's offense.
I think it's about time that people start taking notice.
Yeah, I think so. But, next week will tell a lot.
For
greeted the Tigers when you arrived at the 2 hours before the game.
Well, our fans knew it was a big game. They showed up early. Tiger Walk packed 2,000 or 3,000 people right there for Tiger Walk. 1/4 the stadium, Auburn people, over 10,000. Aubie's out there getting them exciting, and you could hear them. You could hear our people.
And they got to sing in the fourth quarter.
Well, I tell you, it was we were the only ones there in the fourth quarter. The boy here was the scary one. They throw the little hitch and go, catch us completely off guard, and 67 yards for a touchdown. Call back on a holding play. We come right back and cause the quarterback to scramble there. Stacy right there makes the hit on grabs him by the ankle, pulls him up there, and now our offense gets back on now with our first. We open up with a reverse. Our first time, and you'll see a big 15-yard face mask, tackled by the face mask, gets that drive going.
Yeah.
We wanted to catch them off guard. You saw a lot of play action, a lot of misdirection. Right here, 3rd and 3. We faked the dive. Thomas Bailey on the rollout pass. Big play there. Now we're in their territory. A lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement there built up for this game.
3rd and 9. No, this is not 3rd and 9.
No, it's a great run by Steve Davis. Again, I think Steve Davis is starting to get a fan club now. It's a different style. It's a style you have to get used to. But when you see how many people it takes to bring him down, boy, nice catch. He's looking just a third receiver, trying to hit the tight end over the middle. He's running that route just as a backup route on that occasion, not the primary receiver.
That was the 3rd and 9 play.
Yeah, that was the 3rd and 9. There's Steve Davis. Good block by Joe Frazier. Steve Davis oozes the ball into the end zone. Good block by the offensive line there. Coach Trickett there getting his offensive lineman ready right there and doing a good job. The defense comes back, but all day, good tackle by Chris Schilling out of the secondary. He had 8 tackles. Again, fine performance by Chris Schilling and our entire defense, broken up by Dale McGee. They're on the slant route, and they're having to pass the ball. They want to run the football. They're a running football team, but our first down against the run was so good they had to throw more than they like, and now our offense on the ball again, and a beautiful out route thrown to Thomas Bailey.
So hard to defend.
Once you get the defensive back turned around running deep for that play, then we run a screen now, and again, our fullbacks, again, a lot of people say, where are your fullbacks this year? We're starting to get the ball to our fullbacks. The difference this year, as we said before, speed. We have speed at fullback, and as they learn the system, Harold Morrow, a former tailback, as they learn what they're doing, they're going to be more productive. There's a big play there. Beautiful pass by Pat Nix to Frank Sanders on the little bend-in route over the middle, and boy, I tell you, things are clicking. 14-0. 2 long drives by the offense.
The offensive line so primed for this game, playing so well.
Well, Coach Trickett, having coached at Mississippi State, he tends to get those fellas up. Boy, Mike Pelton always hustling to the football. Didn't cause that fumble, but because he runs the football, we're going to go over top. We turn the ball over. We want to come back. Try to kick them. Their defense runs out on the field, not ready, on a fumble. You want to catch them on their heels, and we hit them with the bomb right there. Same play we hit LSU on last year, not this year, to go up 21-0. But it's been all Auburn right now.
They get a big return, and they're down on the goal line now.
Well, that 3rd and 7, they try the quarterback naked bootleg. But our defense, Marcellus there, Stacy Scott made the play, hold them to a field goal. to put us 21-3. Defense
so important at this part of the game. If they had gotten touchdowns, they would have been back.
That's right. When you can hold the field goals now, that score. A little shuffle pass. We run our draw off the shuffle. I think Pat loves that, Nix, because it counts as a completed pass and not as a run. But it is a very effective way to run the draw. Terry Daniels had a big day. 48 yards, or 47.8 yard punt average. We've got to cover. They averaged 15 yards a return. Still need to get down and make sure we have the coverage. We may have outkicked our coverage a little bit, but they were going for punt blocks.
This was the only drive where they did what they wanted to.
They had a good drive.
Pushed around with their size and got down on the goal line.
Well, anyone that saw their team play, it's the biggest offensive line. Another field goal there, but they were 365, 330, 330, 315, 290 was their front five people. They averaged 325 per man, and you can't see between them when they line up hip to hip. Nice 3rd and 3 play right there, or 3rd and 2. We get into 2 tight ends and run the play that we ran against Ole Miss, if you remember, for the big touchdown, and came up with a big play. There's a little draw to Harold Morrow. Again, when you put some speed in like that, and the good effort, as you see there, makes good yardage on that play. Excellent blocking by the offensive line. Victor Riley there, our big freshman tight end, 6'8", starting to be one. There's the fake short pass. He hitches, catches them on the back, throws a beautiful pass. Of all the passes he threw, that may have been as perfect a pass as he faked the hitch and hit him deep, because it had to be thrown perfectly.
Such an important drive here because they had some momentum. They were getting some momentum.
Right here was the, it's funny because last year, right before the half against them, we hit the exact same play to drop Tony Richardson at our field, the exact same play. But that shuts down that momentum, like you said, and puts the momentum back in our favor. And now we've got them shut down. Nice tackle by Dale McGee. This Eric Moles was an out. That number 1, you'd like to have him on your football team. He is a great speed receiver.
At the end of the half, and that's Pelton.
Ended with a sack. Mike Pelton, good pressure on the outside by Whitehead and Etheridge, but Pelton up the middle gives it. And an excellent first half, as good a first half of football, I think, as Auburn's going to want to see.
We'll be back. For Auburn and Florida. Let's point out some of the programming that will be going on this week.
Press. I need a good night's rest tonight because I think to get your football work in and also be available to that, it's something that Auburn's been wanting a long time, and we will be a featured game this week.
Be exciting, too.
It will. It's good for the players, good for our people. It's good for Auburn.
We'll be back with the second half of play in just a minute. There was a possibility of some showers, but it turned out to be a beautiful day.
Well, again, we had the kickoff, but we got the ball very deep. We're very nervous because we're inside our 10-yard line. Great play by Dale McGee there. If anything, offensive interference. He had perfect position. Got the defender tried to go through him. Oh boy, Anthony Harris, big sack there, near sack, I guess, incomplete pass, but put the quarterback on the ground. Their linemen were very big. About the only way you could get through them was to blitz.
They get a good punt down and keep you pinned in.
Well, we got the ball on our 1-yard line, and so we were just trying. At this point, you're 28-2. People say, why don't you throw if you're on goal line? No, we need to preserve that 28-6 margin.
Especially when you have a defense
that's
like
not
Auburn.
Giving up the score, giving up field goals. Right here, this is what can happen. Great strip by Dale McGee, picked it up by Brian Robinson, and a big play, and we've got the ball. The defense has done it again. The turnovers come. They're not for gratuitous turnovers. They go out there and force them. Frankie Sanders, big catch and run, loves it in the crowd. Nice throw there by Pat Nix. Protection's been very good. Trying to change the pocket around a little bit. Steve Davis again making the quick cut. Very hard to tackle, as you see. It takes several people to bring him down. And the offensive machine is just starting to click right here again, I think, as we move this drive down the field.
Davis with a 108-yard day.
Third down 7, we pick up 10. Again, Davis with 100, Beasley with a 6-yard average for 46 yards, and Harold Morrow having a big touchdown run of 12 yards. Over the top again, they're continuing. Again, anytime you run the ball and defensive secondary safeties try to make the plays on the runs, you know that you're going to try to throw over top of them. That's exactly what we did. Steve Davis now stretches the corner, shows a little of his speed, and scores on the outside now to extend and erase any kind of emotion they may have had coming out with a 35-6 win. Anthony Harris again forcing the grounding the ball penalty, which puts them way out of reach. And now offensively, you're going to see, watch closely, the big Steve Davis making a good run on our counter play here. We're starting to grind out the yards. It's taking gang tackling. Although I think you're going to see here a perfect hit. Steve Davis coming around the right side here. Watch the helmet on the football right here, or the arm, and boom, causes the fumble. Unbelievably, we had a hat on everybody. We had everybody knocked down. The problem was we had nobody left standing up to go make a tackle. So I guess there's a good thing to it is everybody was doing their assignment. Nobody was standing around able to tackle a guy on a fumble. But
stop him on the two-point play.
Yeah, big hit. Bobby Daffin there beating the defender. Look at Mike Pelton. He hustles so much for a football. That's why he gets fumble recoveries. But big hit by Bobby Daffin, redshirt freshman out of Viger High School. Watch Beasley turn the corner here and pick up outstanding yardage on the outside, turn the corner as he stretches again the sideline.
It's 3rd and 2 coming on the toss to Beasley.
Well, this is where you'll see him go north-south now. He knows it's 3rd and 2. He slashes for a first down. But we've got them chasing the sweep. And when, again, you get them chasing the sweep, you run the little belly play up the middle and works so well when the linebackers run east and west sideways for the sweep.
What a big day for Harold Morrow.
He really has complimented well. Again, it probably is. It took a little bit, 3 or 4 games for him to begin to get a feel for that position, but he's now beginning to get a feel for it.
At this time, the 10,000 Auburn fans there are having themselves a ball.
Well, they've got the stadium to themselves right now, and are enjoying it. As we're substituting a lot of people now, you'll see boy, look at Ricky Neal coming in there, and Nate Smith, our redshirt freshman tackle, getting a tackle there. It looks like he got one there, and now the offense again. Damian Craig, every time we put him in there, it kind of everybody just enjoys watching. A bootleg pass call there. He just makes about half the team miss. Runs a half a mile, picks up about 8. We just have to keep some oxygen around. Seems like every time we get him in, we coaches want to run him around so much. Got stepped on. Ramon Malcolm had a good day. Really a good run there. Starting to get his stuff back there as he's a big 230-pound tailback out of Louisiana.
And they get one last possession, and
they had one more attempt at it again, and they scored right at the end, and as time ran out, they had one last possession. But, our defense gave up 2 field goals. Offensively, 1 fumble gave them 1 score, and they scored against our backups the last play of the game. And so, good win for our team. I know Mississippi State will bounce back. They still very much in the chance in the run, but it was all Auburn on Saturday, and we have to go over there and thank the fans because we had a great crowd of fans over there. Most of them were stuck in heaven up there on that upper deck, but we had a corner of that stadium right there. We sure wanted to give them a credit for the participation and thanks. Look at Joe Frazier, all of them thankful for the crowd and the trip they made over to Mississippi.
What a build-up for the big game coming next week, and we'll talk about that in a moment.
Not the Auburn Tigers. Penn State is on top of the brand new Associated Press poll. The Nittany Lions have a narrow lead over Colorado. Nebraska won yesterday, and the Cornhuskers picked up the most first-place votes, 25, but the Huskers still fell from 2nd down to 3rd. Auburn convinced 3 voters that the Tigers are number 1, but Auburn has to settle for the 4th position in the poll this week. Florida falls from 1 down to number 5, and the Crimson Tide moves up a couple of spots. Alabama is ranked 8th. Auburn fans have spent the day debating just where to put yesterday's win on the all-time list of dramatic Tiger victories. If it's not number 1, it's not too far down the line. The 4th down pass to Thomas Bailey to keep the last-minute drive alive, followed by the catch, part 2, Patrick Nix to Frank Sanders.
There's a feeling on that sideline. You have to be there to experience it, where you don't feel anyone that there's a negative feeling. You don't see anyone with their head down, even after a drop pass here or a big play there, that thinks that they've done the thing that lost the game. They're all saying, this is the thing I'm going to do to win it, and it's truly a remarkable win.
Within minutes after the Tigers' wild win in the Swamp, delirious Auburn fans began to gather at Toomer's Corner in downtown Auburn. How'd you like to be a part of that cleanup crew? I think that'd be a good job for WSFA's Steve Powell next time he decides to put on the other guy's shoes. And yes, Jim Fife, the voice of the Auburn Tigers, is making good on that pledge to shave his head because Auburn and Alabama both won this weekend. Jim says the shearing will take place sometime this Saturday. The public will be invited to participate with money going to charity. Stay tuned for details on that. Auburn wasn't the only team for the Sunday night lowlights.
Pat
Patrick Nix threw for 319 yards against the Gators. Would have had 326, but his buddy Jason Taylor, an offensive lineman, made one reception for -7.
He just wants to go after the ball, doesn't want to see it intercepted. Plus, he's never caught one before.
Brian Robinson was responsible for 3 takeaways against the Gators, 4 if you count the time he ripped off Fred Taylor's helmet.
I've heard about stripping the ball, but not the helmet. Here it comes. He's got it.
And listen as the Florida Network describes a play that could have turned the game the Gators' way.
Oh, 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 oh! Oh! Oh, no! Oh, it's just a touchback now, isn't it? A touchback. The blue team knocked the ball through the end zone.
And finally, our play of the week, Midnight Madness at Cincinnati. Electrical engineering major Corey Klaus can win a year of free tuition and room and board if he can make one from half court. And Vitale said
the hour because I was inundated all day with people wanting to know the answer to that question. In fact, the last time I can recall taking so many calls on a single subject matter happened about 5-6 years ago. I was working in Texas at the time and kept getting one call after another. Viewers wanting to know if it was true that Tom Landry had really been fired as head coach of the Cowboys. So that just shows you the kind of company Jim's hair is in. At any rate, Auburn play-by-play announcer Jim Fife vowed to shave his head if both Auburn and Alabama won this weekend. The Tigers and Tide, of course, upheld their end of the bargain. Now it's time for Jim to uphold his end of the bargain. Jim told me it would probably be this Saturday at one of the malls, although details have not been finalized yet. When they are, WLWI will have that information on the air. All Jim knows right now, if you're planning on
all the incredible Auburn clothing.
Nix again with 36 seconds left. Florida's got the big rush on Nix. He floats one in the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, Auburn! Sanders caught it. Touchdown, Auburn! Touchdown, Auburn! Frank Sanders from Nix. Auburn's ahead.
It's one thing, they call it luck. But we do it like this. We believe like this. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe.
Come on, Joe. Let's get that cheer going, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Listen up, man. Man, there are so many heroes. So many heroes. When you out there and every single one of you believes you got to do the thing that wins the game, and every say, if the world didn't believe it, you're number one today. I don't care what they say. You like, we blew a million opportunities to score even more. Yeah, we did. But I'm going to tell you, you never quit believing. You never thought the game was over. We're fighting for timeouts because we knew you were going to do it, defense. Great job, offense. Great job, man. You know, it was the greatest team win I've ever been a part of. The best ever, I tell you. This one will go down, buddy.
Welcome to the Auburn Football Review. Coach, I guess that was just a win is a win is a win yesterday, huh?
That sure was. I tell you, but it's going to go down in history, I think, for our boys that one of the best Auburn team wins.
I think it was. And this is the official Victory Over Florida That's Audacity t-shirt, and we'll be telling you more about that in the program. Fasten your seatbelts. We have a long way to go today. Let's begin by going to the Auburn dressing room.
I catch, I want to make something happen. The last one I caught, I made something happen. So.
And you had a day.
They scored there at the end. I was wondering, what's going on. And when I thought to myself, I was thinking, God's giving me an opportunity, and I'm thankful for that. And I tell you, our offensive line and receivers were in the clutch. We believed, we knew we could do it, no matter what.
This is the greatest ever. I don't care whatever goes down. This is the greatest ever. I'll always remember this day. I want to get
Frank Sanders is stumped for something to say. Can you say that?
He's the man. Blessed. This team is truly blessed. That's our game plan to come here pounding. Those guys never played nobody gonna pound them. Pound them. Auburn football is hard-hitting football.
You did good.
Number one, baby. Number one. When you come to Auburn, the first thing the coach tries to instill in you that you're going to play football, you got to play for 60 minutes. We played for 60 minutes today.
You were intent on getting out of bounds to stop the clock, huh?
Oh, yes. I just wanted my offense, our offense to get another chance. I mean, I had confidence in my offense, so I didn't try to make nothing happen, out of something good.
I think you made the right decision.
Oh, yeah, me too.
First half, we played good ball. They was passing, we was picking them off. Came out second half, started running the draw, and we kind of got out of our assignments and stuff, and that's when the offense took control. They got the ball, went down the field, scored every time, basically every time they got the ball.
Nobody believed but the guys on this team, and we always believe we're going to do something to win, and, it's just proud to be associated with people like this.
96 was in the backfield a lot.
What they do? They got to block both of us. They can't double team one and leave the other one unblocked. Either way it go, one of us going to get them.
Well, we made some good plays out there on defense, especially in the secondary, and our line got great pressure, and that's just what we said we had to do, and they came out and did it.
I was just going after it. I was just trying to do what I can to win the game, and the energy's just running through me, man. I just caught the ball. I didn't know what to do with it.
So like then you realize that you
I was like, God dog, I shouldn't have caught that thing.
Don't forget, pay-per-view, 2 weeks now. Auburn, Arkansas. Check your local cable operator, and you home dish owners call 1-800-TV-STARS. Let's move into the Tiger Walk, the best road Tiger Walk I've ever seen, Coach.
I tell you, you don't know what this means to those football players to come off and feel the comfort of their fans. Everybody had a ticket, and everybody who didn't, I think, was out there for Tiger Walk 2 hours before. Special feeling. It really is.
Can you imagine what those guys felt like when walking into the dressing room?
I tell you, it just pumps you up. And our fans during the game, they're staying the way it's built. The fans we had, it worked in our favor, too, because we could hear our fans the whole game. And, boy, just got it off to a beautiful day. That's a tough place, but when you win, that's a great place to play.
Here's the beginning of the game. The sound reverberates in there, but really the sound didn't seem to bother the offense.
No, I think we don't do a lot of complicated things. No motion. Defense gets right after and right off the snap. We don't do a lot of things offensively that would need to have sound. And they want to see if they can run the ball. They do run it very well, but they didn't run it well enough yesterday to be a threat. Then we come right back after the defense stops from the 3 plays. Thomas Bailey, man, caught 10 catches, 116 yards. A great day for Thomas Bailey. But Patrick Nick throws to him. Then here's the first throw to the tight end, 7 catches for 115 yards. That was game plan. We had not used him all year. In a game like Florida, you try to find out where you have tendencies. Our tendency was not to throw to it. Here's a new type play there, fake the sweep. Thomas Bailey goes up for a big catch, and boy, sets the tempo.
That's not Frank Sanders. That's Thomas Bailey.
Thomas Bailey set the tempo, and early was so critical. But they are, and then the nerves were on them. You see, there's a fumbled exchange from the quarterback center. Gary Walker gets the recovery right there. Now we're going right back down, and watch us. We try to go for it all. Fake the screen, bring it back to the tight end underneath, and he gets down to about the 8-yard line. Great tackle there. But Andy Fuller's already made 2 big catches. This is where they hold us, and we had to kick a field goal. I was really disappointed early because we got down there for a couple of scoring opportunities and did not come away with enough points.
To their credit, they held up pretty good. They'd never been behind this season before, and they managed to come back and take the lead.
Well, Florida has great defensive personnel. Don't get me wrong, and it is not easy to run on. We threw the ball 51 times, 20 more times than them. No sacks, no interceptions, no fumbles in that kind of crowd away. The defensive front four. Here's why you get afraid to blitz. Twice we put full blitzes on. Twice they checked off through the deep pass and scored touchdowns. It's the risk and game that you play. We won more times than we lost, but they're going to win some too. Here's a reverse on third down. Good omen because it picked up good yardage, but it also keeps them off balance. The reverse is not a trick play. It's part of the offense. There's the fake toss and there's the throw. Another great catch by Andy Fuller. Boy, he just did a super job. And the key is to change direction, is to keep them off balance. And then when you do run the sweep like Fred Beasley there.
Got the first.
Well, our offensive line did a great job, 168 yards rushing for against a team that only gives up 40 yards.
Missed a scoring opportunity here, missed the field goal. This is second quarter now.
Missed a field goal. There again is the throw to Andy Fuller right up the middle. But again, too many missed opportunities early. Would have come back to haunt us, but again, you got to give credit to Florida's defense. They have an outstanding defense, and I believe we make the field goal there to go up 13-7.
And you are at this first half, you keep the football away from them.
Well,
hold the football.
You've got to be able to do that. It was almost last year in reverse, as they had their big quarters in the third quarters when they changed quarterbacks. But they has a great play there, and you can see they come back and you get them, and there's the pressure by the defensive line without blitzing allows Brian Robinson. But he comes out on the 1 foot line, and all we could do was try to keep from having a safety. But unfortunately, they get the ball back because you can't do anything.
Palmer makes a good return here and gets him set up at the 30-yard line.
Well, we threw the ball coming up twice trying to make something happen. The defense now on his own 30 is put in a tough situation. And you'll see the defense almost holds them here. They'll get the ball down that play right there, right around the 10-yard line, and then it'll come down to a 4th and 1. I don't know if that's the next
4th
play.
and 1 is the next
Well, here they call a timeout and watch it. They run the motion, give it to their best player. We have him in the backfield. That's what you're supposed to do. Give the ball to the best player when you got to make a play, and Jack Jackson did a great job there. Defense held him to a 4th and 1, but now we've got to come back. There's a little direct snap to our tailback we ran a couple of times. Only picked up a couple of yards. They held us to made us punt, but we had some timeouts left. And I think what was critical is we got to use our hurry-up offense right before the half, and it prepared us for the end of the game. We had to punt it back to them. We had timeouts left. Good coverage this time now. And they get greedy. They want to put more points on the board. They're 14-3.
With 3 minutes left in the half.
Instead of getting out of the half and regrouping, they go up and put the ball up in their own territory. And, of course, throw a center field just to catch Brian Robinson, one of his 3 interceptions. 5 interceptions for Auburn for the day. Brings it back inside. Brian's a little too emotional on their sideline. Being from Florida, this game means a lot to those guys. But look at Steve Davis. Steve Davis, you sit and say, what's he doing?
125 yards.
25 yards on 20 carries is what he does for the day. Now, there's the 3rd and 1, and I said, let's go with something different, and ran the reverse, and, of course, it goes all the way. They're trying to stop the 3rd and 1 to the boundary, and we score on the reverse.
That happens with a minute and 10 left in the game. It's still not over.
Because they're going to go back and do it again. And at this point, there's Chris Schilling. He comes up again. Good pass rush. We don't blitz. We fake the blitz and come back with his own coverage. And Chris Schilling, boy, I tell you, he said there's a face mask at the end. We got good help there from Jimmy Raines on the sideline. I think he showed the official. And we got good help. And here come back Pat Nix. We go to the sideline game there, which was our game plan at the end of the game also. Thomas Bailey picking it up, taking the kicker down, puts it through at the end of the game. And now, boy, that's a great way to end the half because you picked up, there was about a 10-point swing there instead of them coming down 2 interceptions. And that set the tempo for the second half.
We'll be back in just a minute. Okay, some special information now. Coming up in 2 weeks for the Auburn-Arkansas game at Jordan-Hare Stadium, 3 of our sponsors here on the Auburn Football Review have teamed up to offer fans a special value meal at the game. The Tiger Sponsor Special will feature a 16-ounce Coke, a Ziegler hot dog, and a bag of Golden Flake chips, all for just $3.95. This special will be available inside, outside the stadium at the Arkansas game in 2 weeks. So be on the lookout for the Tiger Sponsor Special meal at the Arkansas game coming up in 2 weeks. And you got to get that official Florida Victory Audacity T-shirt. That's Audacity. Auburn versus Florida, 36-33. Got to have it. Here's how you order. Audacity products, 1-800-AUB-1994. That's Audacity shirts. They're $15. That's the number to order. Now, you can purchase them at J&M Bookstore, Anders Bookstores, Parisian, and other retail outlets. So be sure and pick up a... That was Audacity, Coach.
That was Audacity. I thought LSU was, but after LSU, the Florida game was a little bit of Audacity.
That was Audacity, and fasten your seatbelts. We're going for the second half, one of the most exciting halves of football you'll ever see And let us also say that a portion of the products of the Audacity products, a portion of the profits go to benefit the academic enhancement programs for all Auburn student athletes. Back in a moment. Second half now, Auburn makes 2 first downs, but then has to punt. Still, Coach, moving the football as you did and keeping them away from the ball was still, even though you didn't.
Well, you move field position. You put them, make them start from down their own territory. And in a game that you win the last play, you add all those things up. And again, some of the times you don't score, just before the time to score, they come out and there's the last throw that I guess Terry Dean gets to throw. They're going to try to make a change to get something going, and it worked for them. Fred Smith there with a pick. Good pressure again by our defense. And watch Steve Davis now. Again, he just glides, and I think you'll see his power and speed in this game against a very fast defense that only gave up 41 yards a game rushing.
Miss another opportunity with a missed field goal.
We miss a field goal, not good in that department. They come back, get a great play, and yes, Auburn fans, he was in bounds.
Yes, he was.
He did not look it, and we all got mad about it, but he was in bounds.
Going for 2. Stop him going for 2. Important.
We stopped 2 2-point plays. You add those 2 up, that's 4 points. They would have won the game with those 2. Defense, you give up a touchdown, you come back and stop a 2-point. Here comes Steve Davis again.
Get you off the goal line.
Big run. You can see his speed around there as you don't see anybody catching up with him. He picked up a couple of blocks on the sideline, too, it looks like. But he was clicking. He plays the big games well. 4th down play, the snap was critical because he had an open man, but he could not throw it quick enough and fast enough. You're not going to get the pass interference. It was too soft a ball, but just one of those little things. The offensive line did a great job. Shannon Robeek, Jason Taylor, and Thomas, our 2 big tackles, along with Andy Fuller. This is the play they put in. It changed up at halftime. We were covering their screens. Those people were cracking. There's a good hit, but it was out of bounds, but I don't think there's any way the defender would have seen he was out of bounds. There's a little play that hurt us real bad in the second half. They made a good adjustment and were able to pick something up until our defense could come up and adjust to it after that.
They finally get the lead, and you would think that was going to be it, but it ain't over.
That's right. There's another. Watch the run here. He runs through about 5 or 6 people and keeps on going. And boy, you just feel that momentum pick back up in the excitement. Our offense comes back. 3rd and 8. Big play here for Pat Nix. I can't say enough about him. And what he's done with this offense 51 times. Who would have thought that we'd be throwing it 51 times? And watch the big play to the tight end. Breaks 1 tackle. Breaks 2 tackles.
Oh, man.
It's funny, we call that play Gator play. I've had it in our offense since about 1980 when I left Florida State.
I see why you call it Gator.
It was put in for Florida at Florida State, and I've run it in my offense. And the signal for it is the Gator chomp. When we send the signal, I'll change it next week. There's a great sack. Willie Whitehead got a sack. Alonzo Etheridge a sack. Gary Walker, 2, and Pelton won. All of our defensive linemen contributing, putting the pressure. But here's the big throw here. They get behind you on one-on-one, and one of the best receivers in the country. We take chances, they take chances, and it happened just like we thought.
5 minutes left, and Auburn can't move the ball. Has to punt with 4 to go, and now
we had 2 timeouts, so we punted away because we had 2 timeouts left, and we felt like we had to do it on the 3rd down. Thank goodness, like LSU, instead of running a minute off the clock, running the ball, they throw the ball, throw it up for grabs, and Brian Robinson gets the ball out of bounds, stop the clock, and here's your last drive. First play of the drive, Frank Sanders makes a big catch. But you'll see with 3 straight incompletions.
4th and 10.
This is 4th and 10. Everybody's just got their heart in their hand. There's a play Jimbo Fisher put in. Just changed the route. We put it in on the field. Then my brother Tommy suggested that we put the big boys into the boundary. Watch this great catch on the sideline as we make this catch. And then here's the touchdown pass that my coach suggested to me. And
35 seconds to go.
They blitz. Quarterback doesn't have time to wait for him to release. He just throws it to the spot. 30 seconds.
My goodness. And then it's hold them for a couple of plays, and there's no way the Auburn defense is going to let them go 80 yards in 30 seconds.
No, we kicked the ball deep. I was just so excited I was trying to get back to our fans. I just want to thank them so much because when we had the ball down at the end zone, it was our fans' end zone. And, boy, they kept it going. And, the players.
That was a fun flight home, Coach.
Boy, I tell you, when we got back to Montgomery.
The seniors, by the way, ride in first class.
They always ride first class. The seniors, the administration sits in back. Look at the crowd we had in Montgomery. And then Coach Hall, who was on the buses there, opted to stop the buses and let the players get out and mingle with them. And, boy, I tell you, it was, there's something. There's something.
That was really, that
It's
was
almost
really
like I
a
said,
welcome
didn't we just see y'all in Gainesville? Can't tell our people apart, but buddy, it was a great
What a
win for all of
day,
us.
what a day. We'll be back in just a minute. This week, it's from Master Graphics and the Auburn Network. Be sure and get them this week by order or at the outlets we told you about. Off this week, but Auburn, Arkansas pay-per-view next week. Tiger Talk will be on Thursday night. Congratulations, Coach. See you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Coach Bowden's apparel provided by The Locker Room.
Goodson on the left, that's the short side of the field. The snap to Nix, and here is Davis running to the outside. Got a block in the corner to the 20, the 15 to the 10. He's at the 5. He's in! Touchdown, Auburn!
Yeah, let's get it going. Right here. Hey, Willie, get on. No, get up here.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, War Eagle, Lion, never conquer, never yield. War Eagle, go, 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 on the victory side of the band. Give hell, stand here. Hey, War Eagle, with for Auburn, power of Dixieland. Hey!
Now, fellas, this is exactly what we thought we're going to have now. We thought it was going to be a 60-minute battle. We got a lot for us today because we made some mistakes. Offensively, we got ourselves in trouble. We got our team in trouble, and we made some mistakes. And defense, you kept playing. You kept playing. Bending but not breaking. Offense, you never lost your poise. Never lost your poise. Steve, 247 yards. Great job. Offensive line, great job out there. Good job. There's a little bit of everybody today, and we got the kind of battle we need in 60 minutes. Be complimentary that they have the best game plan I thought anybody's had on us this year now. Be complimentary on that prayer. They did a great job. But you guys went out there and played like a champion today.
And welcome. Coach Terry Bowden joins us, of course, and that was a lot of good football virtue out there yesterday, Coach. Patience and perseverance and that sort of thing.
Well, we had some virtue and we had some problems, but I thought the patience and waiting and not getting impatient, not panicking was so critical. Defense early, offense late, entire solid kicking game. Everything came together again, and we got a 60-minute game that probably helped us more than a blowout would have helped us.
Kind of the mark of a championship-type team that gets it done and overcomes the obstacles.
Well, that's the type of thing you want to see. Again, I think if you have championship years, you'll look back and say, well, that was this game, that game. We held on. We didn't make a mistake. We didn't play real good, but we won anyway. We've got a few more things to do before we can talk about championships because we've got teams that can knock you off, but it was the kind of performance we needed, the kind I thought we would get from Arkansas.
And the big day, of course, for Stephen Davis. We go into the locker room now right after the game and talk to Steve.
Called on you today.
Yeah, the offensive line did a great job. Joe was blocking good. You know, they opened up a lot of holes for me today.
It took a while to find what would work, but you all showed patience and waited for it to happen.
Oh, yes, we made a couple of mistakes early in the game. Patrick Nix threw the interception, I phoned the ball, and we just kept our pause and came out the second half and just did things that we were capable of doing.
Well, obviously, they had worked all week on stopping the toss sweep and really filling up in there. And once we started bouncing outside, you know, I think that was a great adjustment by the coaches.
It's my job to go out and block for Steve, and if he get all the yards, it's all the better for me because I enjoy seeing him run down that sideline and getting in that end zone.
It makes us feel great. I mean, we enjoy blocking for him. I mean, he's a great running back, and he complements the offensive line well.
You know, if he gets the block, he'll get it done.
That's right. When we go out and execute our game plan, you know, take our responsibilities, it's tough to beat us.
We didn't expect him to throw that much. You know, we expect him to just basically have more of a running option game, but when he dropped back, we knew we had to get to him, so that's what we did.
Number one, he was a real good receiver. And in the fourth quarter, we got a lot of pressure on the quarterback, so that really helped us out in the secondary, and he pretty much iced the game.
Did you feel him coming?
I didn't see him coming. Then when I saw him, the ball, I had to keep my eyes on the ball. And I couldn't call a fair catch because the ball was right up on me. And I knew he had hit me late, before I had the ball. He hit me and the ball had hit me on the face mask. So.
Boy, you appreciate Thomas doing that for 4 years, don't you?
Yeah, I appreciate it. A lot of guts back there to do that.
Yeah.
Whatever uniforms they wear, football.
Pay for our view for East Carolina next week. Your chance to see the Tigers, and this might be a pretty good football game for you to watch, too. We'll have more information on that. Now let's move into the first half of play. Coach Bowden, this was very much like last year's game. They always have a good plan, a good concept of how they want to attack you.
Well, they have an outstanding defense. They're very sound. The turnovers, they're going to reduce their turnovers. And last year we had 4 turnovers against them. This year, 2 very early. And it seemed very much like last year, but first series, we hold their offense and make them punt. And they did not do much because as we had stopped their first play, and then you'll see a great play. Dale McGee here jumping up and knocking. They're going to try to go deep. When they force your people to play for the option, they get you into one-on-one coverage. But he was able to stop them.
And here's a coverage sack, too.
Yeah, definitely. Gary Waters got the sack there. Gary Walker, I'm sorry. And it was a coverage sack because the receivers weren't. And now our offense were on the football. And now here's a series where he threw a beautiful post-corner route to Frank Sanders. And remember that post-corner route because later, off of that route, he throws the touchdown pass behind everybody.
Was this something you felt like you could do in the game or just...
Well, yeah, because they played inside. Here's the very critical play. Pat made just a poor decision right there. I'll say he was trying to do something good. We were running just a draw, and they knocked it back down, so he was trying to just throw it away. And he knew he couldn't throw the ball across line of scrimmage because it was a running draw, and made a bad mistake and put us in a bit of a jam. But from that, I think we got to see some good things happening. And now we had a big 40-yard run called back with a penalty, but he comes back and throws a third down play and gets a first down now, and we get the ball out. This is the second series, and you'll see us start to move the ball again. And I think this is the sweep here. We're moving on our second series. We had an interception in that one, and now we come back, and here's the controversial right there, the fumble. You hate to see that late to fumble. We felt his knee was down, but the official chose to make the decision the other way, and nothing you can do about it except go and play football. Haven't seen the corner blitz. Chris Schilling on the corner blitz, a good adjustment. Wayne Hall making there. Chris Schilling coming on the outside. Quarterback was not aware. We're getting good pressure now. And there's it's not intentional grounding, it's called intentional touching. He hit his lineman in the back. That's an automatic penalty, whether you mean to do it or not.
We're in the second quarter now. The critical point in the game, they have a drive going, and they can go up 14-0 here at the 7-yard line.
Well, our crowd was responsible. He checked off and ran the option. The backs went the wrong way, couldn't hear it. So our crowd has to take credit for stopping this drive with the defense because instead of them being up 14-0, we moved them back, hold them to a field goal attempt. After this drive, you'll see the lineman that come up here, knock that one down, and you'll see right here, instead of them being on the 1st and 6 on the 6 to go up to 14, watch the defense continue work. There's the draw on third down. Great job, Marstella, Mike Pelton, hold them to a field goal.
And, of course, you all were aware that their field goal kicking has not been
very good, and here's a chip shot that they missed, and now, instead of being 14-0, we've got the ball. And now you'll see now, and they've been controlling the clock. They had 35 minutes to our 24 Saturday. But this is our drive, and now we start to go. Watch again that, what we call a post corner. He fakes the post, rolls back out on the corner. We thought that would be open. Frank Sanders again, moving the ball out near midfield.
Later you're going to see Frank turn up and go for the touchdown.
That's right. And there's a sprint draw. Good job by, look at Joe Frazier. Good block there, 10 or 12 yards. Of course, Steve Davis, 240 yards rushing. One of the great day for him. Look at the protection's good. And there's the same route on the other side of Thomas Bailey. He bruised his thigh, had to come out and went back in for that play, but we weren't able to use him. Should be all right next week, but he's got a very tender thigh right now.
Critical 3rd and 7 here.
Yeah, boy, here's Frank, our big play that falls down. He has the first down. He fell down. It's one of those times they're saying, oh, my goodness, one of those days. Held to a field goal, but we make the field goal, and, boy, you can see some light at the end of the tunnel. You know, things have been going wrong. We had a good drive, and we get 3 points, and I think then the defense will hold one last time before halftime. And there's the pressure. Good job. Look at those defense there with Willie White had an outstanding game. Alonzo Etheridge, almost said Scott Etheridge, but he's much bigger than Scott.
Yes, he
and watch
is.
Brian Robinson. Now here's the safety blitz. They mixed it up very well. And again, if you're going to play the safeties close enough to stop the option, you've got a chance to blitz on pass situations. And you'll see, I think, where we
very important that the defense holds them off the scoreboard for the rest of the quarter.
Oh, very critical, because they would have taken momentum back there, and then we come off, and I think Gary Walker right there lets you know who he thinks is number one. And I think the show, they still feel like the offense and the defense feel like push. We got a chance to come out of this half.
And we'll be back in just a minute. In the pay-per-view telecast next week of the East Carolina game, homecoming at Auburn, we should remind you that there are a few tickets left and your chance to see the Tigers this Saturday against East Carolina. The Auburn Network will offer pay-per-view for this game, however, so you can contact your local cable operator to get set up for the telecast. That's for home dish owners. There's the 1-800 number, 1-800-TV-STARS. Andy Burcham will be handling the play-by-play, and a great former Auburn quarterback and coach for the Tigers, Randy Campbell, will be doing the analysis. So let's tell you a couple of other bits of information, programming notes for the rest of the week.
Again, scoring points there coming in that we saw some light that all the mistakes were ours. We made critical mistakes on offense. Defense had not given up a point. Felt good. I really felt good that the running game was starting to click, that we could come back in and just, if we didn't panic or lose our poise, we could get back in this ball game.
All right, stay with us. We've got a 28-point second half coming up. Second half, want to note 85,214 fans out there yesterday, and the students were just great again, Coach.
Now, I tell you, they were, and some of our biggest fans is that band. They do a great job. Our players hear that, and they're always there. You can't say enough about them. We got probably the best fans in the country. And there's the offense, defense again.
I stopped you on the first drive, but then you stopped them too.
Right. Then the defense came back and shut them right down again. It's very hard when they're trying to control the clock and keep that game. And the offense missed their first drive, but we were doing things right. We had a young Tyron Goodson caught the ball and didn't get a first down when he should have. And there's Fred doing what we like. Just get up there and get a first down. Get 8-10 yards. Try to get a first down in the middle. And now the offense is coming along. Big Steve Davis is really cranking up now. There's a kind of a little glimpse of what we're going to see in the second half. They can't bring him down. He really begins to punish defensive backs as they see more and more of him. And, of course, here is him again on the toss sweep, which is the cutback off the toss sweep. Again, you see it being difficult for these guys to bring him down. It's been to wear on their defense. Our offensive line did a super job, and our receivers blocked very well because they know that at any point they can run. Now, here's the play where he comes. Here's where the quarterback rolls out. That old corner route. The receiver broke off that corner, worked back upfield, and there's the big play that puts us ahead. And, buddy, you start feeling good right now. Great job by Patrick. Pumps it, and then comes back over top. And you can see him break back down the field. We felt like we had the game right here, but dadgum in Arkansas showed the boys. And an 80-yard drive coming up. You're going to see it. The defense, we had a little lull right here with our defense, and gave up a big play, but we'll see that with this drive. It starts out now, they're on 21.
They're reading the fullback there and really doing a good job.
Well, it was so hard. We don't see the option like the old days. The fullback had 70-so yards on 12 carries. We're trying to mix things up, but here's the quarterback. I think you'll see now Chris Schilling going for the intercept. Mistake there, just like we saw Pat Nix made a mistake earlier, but their receiver made a fine catch down to the 2. Took them 3 to get it in, and I don't think our defense wanted them to get it in right there, but they did, and as quickly as we went ahead, they jumped back ahead 14-10.
Nervous people in the stands and watching around the southeast.
Well, you can't lose your poise. As the players, there's Patrick Nix. He coming to his secondary receiver, Andy Fuller. The big game last week, didn't get the ball to him too many times, but we just kept our poise.
This is an 80-yard drive under the gun.
There's the counter play, and Steve Davis cutting back against the grain again. They have the jump and grab him. You know, Pat Nix was not sacked any time because of the offensive lineman. Both of his tackles behind the line of scrimmage were not lineman sacks. But here's Steve Davis now working the outside, stretching that defense, and you can just see that offense starting to click right now.
Now we're in the fourth quarter, same drive. Auburn down to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, we were behind every quarter of this game, and except the ending of the final gun. Now here's Steve Davis up the middle, and now he's inside the 10-yard line, and you kind of got the feeling that this offense is clicking. So their defense on the field too long for Arkansas also.
Boy, the Auburn offensive line.
Look at that great block by Andy Fuller, and Stephen takes it down to the 1-yard line, and then Stephen takes a linebacker through the head and into the end zone.
Watch the hit at the goal line here.
Again, Steve does right here, and he takes on their linebacker right there and pushes him. He's 225 pounds. It's kind of hard to hit him backwards. And, boy, that was good to get back on top right there. But still, they had come back again.
You didn't know that they wouldn't be able to do the same thing they did before.
Oh, that's right. I tell you, this game kept everybody kind of nervous. Lonzo Etheridge, great tackle on the option for a loss. And good to see that now put them into what they don't like to be as long yard
Second
situation.
And 8.
Well, great job, Mike Pelton. I tell you, that quarterback took a beating Saturday. I
sure did.
That option is something, but those quarterbacks get hit so hard when they run.
3rd and long, and they decide to pitch it on the option.
And there's, look, Chris Schilling and Anthony Harris played it perfectly, no gain, and now they have to punt back, and they have not come back when they needed to offset our points. And our offense now
Here's
starts
3rd and 5.
3rd and 5. Boy, hit about 2 or 3 third-yard plays. Frank Sanders, that play over the middle, we missed it earlier, and nice catch and run there. Frank had I think he had 6 or 7 catch for another 100 yards this week.
3rd and 5 here.
And here's the 3rd and 5. It's a stretch sweep, and now here it goes. Great blocks now. I think we'll see it from another angle. As they're on 3rd and 5, we go ahead and run the sweep. And
Joe just...
Watch Leonard Thomas right through the guard lead, and watch Joe puts his man down. And now we've got, and then a great block as we come behind Frank Sanders. Now this corner should be getting off the block, but Frank continues to lock up on his block and drives his cornerback into the end zone. Well, great team effort.
What a great combination of running skill and blocking.
Well, now you've got a 10-point lead, but you know, it's still never over. Until this defense stopped, our defense stopped them. There's the first play. It finally got that fullback slowed down. There's the host of Auburn defenders to stop that fullback. But when you stop him, you force him in a long yard situation.
3rd and 8.
Here's 3rd and 8 right here, and he makes a beautiful route and throw, but he bobbles the ball. The route that we've been hitting on them, they throw, and could not make the catch. And that's usually what the difference is between a game like this. And here's a critical mistake by one of their young players, got over-aggressive, hit the punt return man before the ball came down. I'm sure that young man is excited, trying to do something good, but made a critical mistake and moved the ball 15 yards up to midfield. And then we start to work on him again. The sweep again, we tire him out, we run him from sideline to sideline, and he just drags them for 4 or 5 yards more every time. And you just got to
get a penalty here and stop the drive.
Well, here's the bobble. Terry Daniels bobbled the snap. I've never had a punt blocked in my days, and he has not either. But boy, rainy day, wet ball, and the ball was bobbled, and it got it. And now we're back in the problem.
There's still enough time.
Oh,
for
they've got the ball. We're only up 10, but they come out and they use a scrambling quarterback. Very much stop we got to him right away. Good blitz. This is their freshman quarterback. With a great runner and thrower.
They have to go on 4th and 9 here.
And here's the play. I felt the game was finally over when we got this. Scott Stacey chasing him, and he gets about 6 yards, and then everybody gets to him now, and that's the ball game. I mean, as far as the time, it's not over yet scoring-wise. We know that, but as far as the big play.
Very next play.
Here's a sweep. Now watch again the block by Joe Frazier. I don't know if it shows up on this angle, but you're going to see him untouched. Again, to see his speed. Watch the defensive back take the wrong angle. See, normally a defensive back knows the angle to pick a back down. But watch the blocks here. Of course, the guard makes his block. But watch Joe Frazier right here lead his block. You think that's what they call a pancake block right there. Puts him on his back, and then Steve Davis does the rest. And great day. The score was very much closer than it showed, but good for Auburn.
And the final is 31-14. Back in just a moment. Everybody's attention, beating South Carolina, scoring 50 points.
They can score, not your homecoming cupcake. We've got a big week of preparation. They caught our attention.
Pay for view. Order it this week, and we'll see you next week with the Auburn Football Review. Thank you for being with us. Very, very pleasant.
Inside of 8 minutes in the third quarter. There's the play fake by the quarterback, Crandall. He throws, pass intercepted. Brian Robinson up to 40 to the 45. To the 50, dodging tackles into the 45 and on to the 43-yard line is safety Brian Robinson, brought down by Junior Smith of East Carolina. Now let's see if the offense can make it pay off. Out of the eye, Frederick Beasley's the tailback. The play fake to Beasley, and Nix is going long to Sanders. He's got it up to 7 to the 5. He's gone. Touchdown, Auburn!
That's a pretty big win. I tell you, when you prepare like we did, we had our goal for this game. We came out and had a pretty hot team out there. And they had a pretty hot team. I mean, they had a good plan, and they played a great football game. Thank goodness we weren't planning on a no one-point win now. That wasn't our job. It wasn't our goal. We didn't know when it was going to come, but it came. 4 or 5 interceptions. A lot of deep balls. Sweep last week, deep ball this week, but it came. And you took it to them. Syracuse beats us by 1, Virginia Tech by 7, Duke by 3, you by 3 touchdowns. That's about right. That's about right. Penn State wins by 6 to Indiana. You did a good job. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you. That's a hard-fought win. Those guys played good. They played real good. I thought they did a great job. And now we're down to 2. We're down to 2. And this is Georgia's it now. Georgia's it.
20 in a row for the Tigers. A hard-fought 38-21 victory over East Carolina. Coach, didn't come easy.
No, I hope everybody got the homecoming game they wanted. I never said it was going to be the game that I wanted, but we got
those guys is talking about a patsy out of conference.
I told them, to me, this is one of the finest teams we've played this year. I put them right there up there behind Florida as one of the top football teams. I think they'll be hard to beat.
The ability to do whatever it takes to win showed yesterday.
Well, that's right. I mean, defensively, they were going to throw it 47 times. That's okay throwing it 47, but don't throw interceptions. They threw 4. Offensively, if you're going to stop the run, do it with 7. When you do it with 9 people, we're going to hit the pass over top. And so that's what it took yesterday. The week before, something else. I like this team. They're doing the things necessary to win each game.
And of course, you've got to recognize what it takes to win those games. And a lot of injuries yesterday. You had to play through a lot.
Well, I think really in our secondary, a lot of injuries came in the first half. They had an 80 and 88-yard drive. We couldn't keep the same 4 people in there 2 series in a row. Lose one, this guy would move over and play a different position. He hasn't practiced that position all week. Another guy comes in. We really lost our continuity. We have to regroup. We've got to get some people well because the throw and attack we saw yesterday isn't nothing compared to what we're going to see this Saturday coming up.
You are so right. Georgia and Zaire are dead ahead. Let's go to the dressing room now and talk first with some of the DBs who had such a good game yesterday.
Executed their game plan, and they really, opened our eyes up a little bit.
But you stopped them with 4 interceptions, and that was the key.
Yeah, we stayed into the game, and, we communicated with each other. We had a couple of busts, but then again, we came back and got things together and came out on top.
Without the interceptions, they would have been in the game at the end.
Yeah, it's a big key for us to go out and create some interceptions so we can get the offense the ball. And it's a great team, great passing team, great running team. We just had to settle down in the second half and just play all football and go out and win like we should.
We had a couple of guys go down, but I think they played well until they went down, and we had to have people to step in and get the job done. And fortunately, I was able to be there.
You never know what it's going to take to win a football game.
That's right. You never know. You just keep working hard, and hopefully your chance will come. And tonight we won. I think it would have been a better game if those guys in secondary would have made those big plays. They played a hell of a game, and they came here with a good plan. And I think we just, as a team, we played good enough to win. And I think that's all we needed was to win.
Oh yeah, they ran a lot of 3-step passes, which is hard on the defensive line and the defensive backs. I mean, because everything's happening, quick. Like I said, East Carolina came with a great game plan. They came in wanting to beat us. They tried to knock us off our pedestal.
This team is a very well-balanced team, running wide, passing wide. We got Steve Davis, Joe Frazier, and Harold Mara. Plus we got Patrick Nix, Frank Sanders, Thomas Bell, Andrew Fuller, and Jeff McCurry. So I think really balanced off even on offense.
And it took that to win today.
Yes, it did.
They were not going to let you run the football today. They were inviting them to throw it to Frank Sanders.
They came in with a good game plan. Came in with a lot of blitzing, a lot of stunts up front.
You reckon they didn't think much of you or what?
I really don't know. I guess they figured that a lot of my passes were caught outside. I don't know, man. They came in with a game plan to try to stop the run because Steve did so good last week. Offense, Coach Bowden realized that they just started throwing the ball up top.
Coach, I got to give Coach Bowden a lot of credit. We run a post, we score with it. Next time we get the ball, first play, comes right back to the same kind of route, and we throw another one. They covered it pretty good the next time, but Frank went up and made a great catch. And when you throw into a guy like Frank, and guys like Thomas and some of those, it makes the job a lot easier. And I got to give them a lot of credit. Frank had a great day. The offensive line had a great day, and it's a big win for Auburn. Very big win.
Okay, we'll get into the first half of play. A beautiful day. This is when you're supposed to play football, Coach, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right. I wish we'd have them all at 1 o'clock, and TV would just adapt to us. Well, the Auburn Network did for pay-per-view anyway.
Okay, we pick it up with stop them on the opening drive, and they are about to go into punt formation as we pick up the action in the first quarter.
Well, our defense really first 3 series, 2 or 3 stopped them, and then Thomas Bailey gets us going now. We've been waiting for some returns. Boom, here it is. Excellent return, about 19 yards, I believe. But it gets us opening up in their territory, and we began to set the tempo right away.
Good time for the kicking game, the return game to come around.
And Steve Davis, again, picking up powerful yards. It's funny, we don't get excited when he gets 90 yards on the day, but Stid had a great day because their defense stacked the front to stop the run, and then we start doing some other things. Pat Nick scrambles around here. Beautiful. You don't see Pat scramble too much. We don't say he's the fastest guy in the world, but finds Frank Sanders for about a 14-yard gain, but it was 3rd and 16.
So Matt Hawkins comes out, who had a terrific day, 3 field goals, a lot of good kickoffs.
I'm glad he's on that right hash. That right hash is giving him trouble, but he pops it right in and shows a lot of confidence there. Had good kickoffs, like you say, and perfect on his field goals.
This is the way you want to cover on a kickoff.
Somebody wonders what our fullbacks do. This is what our fullbacks do. Joe Frazier and Harold Morrow, that's what they do, and they play football.
Oh, wow.
That was a great hit. Oh, that was a great. And here they come again. But I'm telling you, this little back here will probably play in the NFL. He's about 5'6" or 7", 185 pounds, 4'3", 40. Strong. You'll see some runs that run blue. I think their quarterback and their tailback and the catching ability of their receivers makes this one of the top offensive teams we've seen.
Here's 3rd and 5. They make a first down, but here's 3rd and 5 now.
They were using a very controlled passing game. And once they got past their first series jitters, they began to really excel in it. And then our defense came back and made the difference with interceptions.
Stopped them there, but Auburn does not move the ball. This is their next possession.
Great job. Shannon Suttles, you see playing it. You haven't seen him much this year, but now, because of some injuries, Alonzo Etheridge bruised some ribs. Bobby Dappin got hurt in practice. Boy, I tell you, Pelton, there's our defense, too. They pound them. That's what I was impressed the way they're the toughness of their football team. Because we hit them about as hard as you can hit, about as hard as we can, and they kept coming back.
Late in the quarter now. Here comes the first scoring drive.
Well, there's Pat Nix jumping on that tight end and a big play to our tight end. We were able to get to him a couple of times, but most of our flows were going outside. And here's the fake. Patrick handles the blitz well, and we throw to Thomas Bailey. Big play here. Patrick Nix did a great job. This team did not blitz much the last 7 games, the teams were playing. This game, they blitzed almost every time. And so, again, their game plan was different. We get outside on the sweep and walk in now to go up 10-0. And, that's a lot different than last week against Arkansas, getting up like that. And you made a point. We never gave up the lead all day. As good as they were playing, and we never got behind to the point where I think their momentum and encouragement would have been great. Good hit there by Chris Schilling.
That was the beginning. This is moving in the second quarter now, the beginning of a 15-play drive for them.
Well, they had, 17 minutes of the clock in the first half to our 12. And I think their quarterback was taking a control short passing, so you rushed hard, but you couldn't get to him. And a beautiful throw and catch there. Very well covered, but it was a beautiful throw and catch, and then it's just 10-7.
Now it becomes imperative that Auburn move the football and make a big 3rd down here.
Well, that's a big play there. They had both those feet straddling that line. They could have given him no first down. We got it. We haven't been getting those. You see them blitzing now every time. There's Pat Nix saying, hey, let's go over top. We did a little stop and go. Take the out, ran up, and Frank Sanders wide over top. Patrick took a hit as soon as he threw it.
He got one of those smash mouths on that one.
Yeah, he took the shot. But I'll tell you, Patrick Nix, I mean, you can say what you want to, but he throws a very catchable deep ball. You don't see him overthrow too many of them. He throws them soft where you can catch them. There's good pressure. Pelton really getting after that. Quarterback took some hits. But here's the play probably that cost him disappointed the whole day. 3rd and 22. Now watch this guy get the last 3 yards. Wow. If that is as good of running as I've seen. He gets 23 yards. And again, you hate to see that. It's a great effort, but we can't let that happen because this is a critical drive.
At this point, you have 3 key starters on defense on the sidelines, too.
And here's a play here where we think the guy's going to step out of bounds and didn't want to get the out-of-bounds penalty. And Dale McGee backs off. I think we ought to just go ahead and hit him. And he's already got the first down. And they scored. They really got some good. But all of a sudden, old Reliable steps in, Fred Smith, and shuts it down. And the only guy on the team that could have caught Fred was that tailback. He's faster than probably anybody on our defense. And he's only got caught him. But this is where, we had 3 terrible plays here. I called a real bad play. It's messed up the formation and got us in trouble. And we have to settle for a field goal. It's important we get points, but touchdown would have really put a damper on their effort. But We're going to see a big play here that ends the half. It may have been one of the big ones. Right there.
Another serious drive.
Hits their receiver in the shoulder pad. Kid Alvis strips it off. We come out there with a lead 20-14, and they've given us probably as good a half of football as they played this year.
Still very much a football game as we go to the halftime, and we'll be back in just a minute. At 6 o'clock. Now, our congratulations to Beth Ray, the homecoming queen, who was crowned and honored at halftime at yesterday's game, while you all probably were getting a lot done in the dressing room because
we had a lot to do. We couldn't get involved too much with homecoming. We had to figure a way to slow down their offense and to make sure we made some adjustments and recognize what we needed to do on with our offense. And so we had work cut out for us that second half.
And we'll see that in just a minute.
The difference between an average...
Jamming in the line of scrimmage?
Well, yeah, well, not really. To me, that was a great game plan. Paul Jett, their defensive coordinator, really had a great plan. If we're going to beat you, make us complete the pass. If we don't complete those, we have a tough time.
Okay, we pick up the action now. We're about 6 minutes into the third quarter of play now here.
Well, we missed some tackles there. Defensively, we missed a few tackles Saturday that we normally don't miss. But they're starting to move the football now, and it's still a point of anything can happen. But here's where the changeover. Brian Robinson's got his finger sewed up and taped up from a dislocated finger that he got in the first half. They sewed up and comes back, and there's the one. And they get a big play here. Instead of them moving the ball down to our territory, beautiful pass by Pat Nix. Watch the way he's thrown. This is the one place you had to throw it, right over the outside, softly threw it, laid it right in for the big touchdown.
Terrific. Now you go for 2 to even things up on the scoreboard. Get back into the 7.
Oh, you get a good shot here for the TV camera here. As you look over here, it shows it right here to Fred Beasley. They covered all the inside routes, and by doing that, they left the flare to the back open and gave us a good 2-touchdown lead right now. And that feels pretty good. Now you're thinking they've got to score 3 times or they got to make 2-point plays. And then the defense starts to crank it up now and really starts to take charge. And pretty much the game, by the second half at this point in time, they've done some completions, but they're really not doing the things. They had a huge second quarter and a little bit of the third quarter.
You make him go to third down on almost every series, and that you can't keep making third down plays.
No, now we're getting all these people tighter, and we're starting to get our good people. We had secondary people injured and moved around, and I like the way they kept the poise because this team had about 78 plays their offense. And then we come right back. The very next possession, go over top again. They cover it, but you get big Frank Sanders up there, and and Pat Nix again throws a soft throw. Good protection. We had some sacks. They got a sack on us 1 or 2, but not much. Good protection most of the day.
On all those long balls, they picked up the blitz every time.
Beautiful job there. Willie Gaucher catching the curl route right there. Now gets us down here. Boy, there's a good job by Thomas Bailey on a 3rd and 3, making a big catch. And I think you'll see the sweep hit the corner now. They blitz the safety inside because our sweep usually goes right downhill inside that tight end. And they missed it. Both touchdowns, they missed it and called the inside blitz. And they're doing a guessing game. People are going to do a guessing game on that goal line when they start doing that. There's that outstanding back now who rushed for 120 yards. The second back to rush for 100 yards in our 20-game streak over the last years. But it's going to happen sometime.
This team is just good offensively. They got over 400 yards. They're just good.
They are very, very good. That's what they average most every day. Scott said, now Gary Walker deflects it, and Scott Stacy gets his interception. And again, that's the 4th interception of the game right there. I believe they hold us here. We have a good drive going.
Kick the field goal, yeah.
Yes, we had hold us to kicking a field goal. Good throw to Steve Davis, the secondary receiver. He was looking downfield and came back to throw it to Steve Davis. They hold us, and we kick the field goal. Third of without missing for Matt Hawkins.
Pretty much going to the 4th quarter, the game is in hand now. And I think they understood that, too, because they...
Otis Mounds. Watch that beautiful play by Otis Mounds. He makes 2 big plays here. Otis Mounds, who along with Ray Luster was our captain for the homecoming game. He's had a lot of adversity he's overcome, but he played the second half when Albus got hurt. Did a super job. He's meant a lot to our team.
They run the football mostly in the 4th quarter, and now this is the last series of the game.
Yeah, anytime when you're trying to run the clock out, you run sweeps. The quarterback naked bootleg is your counter to it. You really don't want him to throw the football. You want him to run, not hand the ball off, and eat the clock. Because we're trying to go down there. We're only up 38-21, and you'll see our Beasley now playing, and Damian Craig. We have a little run. That wasn't really a throw. That was just a quarterback draw to try to run the clock. And You talk about right here. There, he fell down right there. And boy, he just threw it right then. We went down on the knee after that. But great job trying to recognize those fans. They were so good. You got, our fans are there making the noise as loud as ever. And the hardest thing for our fans, when a game is scary, they get quiet. Don't get nervous, get loud.
84,000 yesterday. Great crowd. We'll be back in just a minute. For many years, Georgia played Auburn after playing Florida. It's no longer that way. They had a week to rest and scheme.
Well, just like last year, they've got the week off now in a week that we prepare for our homecoming. And we've got some kids banged up. I'm sure we'll find a way to try to make that to our advantage, and hopefully it won't be flat. But they're going to scheme. They'll change some things, some new things, and they'll be very prepared. Georgia's scoring so many points. They're the number 2 ranked offense in our conference. They do so many things offensively that they're going to be tough to beat. Zaire, if he's hot, we all know we got faced us, and besides that, it's Georgia.
It is Georgia.
It didn't happen. Not one person's fault. It just didn't happen. We all want to make plays. We all tried to make them, but just didn't get it to happen. And it's happened. We tried to make it happen. We kept putting ourselves in position to make it happen. It ain't the last kick's fault. We had time to put it. We had a chance to put that thing away early, and we didn't do it. But you'd be real complimentary of Georgia out there. You'd be real complimentary of Georgia after this thing. We ain't been beat. It ain't no fun right now. It ain't no consolation. But you ain't been beat. So there ain't much more we can say. We'll regroup from it. We'll just regroup from it, and we go get ready for that big one. Then. And let's remain unbeaten this year. Let's remain unbeaten this year. They ain't been beat yet, and let's remain unbeaten this year. Now, that's the real audacity. That's the real positive attitude. To take one like that, then come back and have the greatest week of practice in our lives.
This is the Auburn football.
And welcome. For the first time in 21 games, Auburn experienced something other than victory last night at Jordan-Hare. It was a tie, and difficult to deal with, I would guess, Terry Bowden.
Well, this is one case where that tie doesn't feel any better than a loss. It's tough to take. You don't feel that much better this morning, but we've got to come back from it. And you've got the biggest game of the season coming up, and boy, the players still fought hard, and they still tried to win that game at the end, and never for a doubt didn't believe they were going to win, but it didn't happen.
And it was of your own doing. It was not the fact that you were not certainly not good enough to win the game.
That's right. Time and time again, we've made the big plays to make something happen. In the third quarter, when we were up 14, we go for the play that we've always gone for all year, the big play, off the hands, they intercept it laying on their back, they hit the bomb, we fumble, those cause the turnaround, and then we don't win it at the end. We had a chance. Georgia played best game of the year, and hard-fought tie for them and a tough tie for us.
Boy, a team that had been prominent in turnovers played a perfect game, and that's what it took for them to win.
Well, they had no turnovers. That's what you do. We played and had 2 big ones during the game that had a chance to put the game up 21. But we all gonna look back. Anytime you have a tie or a loss, you look back and you see all the things you should have done. What I see are the plays that we did not make, the passes that just off the fingertips, the Pat Nix bombs that just didn't happen, the deep ball that we hadn't given up under that situation before coming off your goal line. All those things happen, and when it happens, you don't have the kind of final that you usually have.
All right, let's go to the Auburn dressing room.
It's kind of neutral. I tell you what, though, we're still undefeated. And I think this team is going to rebound real well. We had some chances we just didn't capitalize, and they did. But this team will be all right, though.
It's rough. It's hard. We should have won, and we know we should have. And but it just didn't happen, and we've got to be able to bounce back from it.
We just don't won so many games that, we're not satisfied with a tie. That's the thing about it.
Think this will help you get ready in the next week?
Yeah, it helps us because, it hurts like a tie, but it hurts like a loss. But, we didn't lose. And, we got to hold our heads up. Georgia came out, played a good football game. And, this is the biggest one of our lives coming up next week, the one you remember the rest of your lives. So, we'll bounce back. It's tough right now, but we'll bounce back. I think so. I think probably a little wake-up call for us just to how important the end of the season is. We still not lost a game, so we know that. We just want to go to Birmingham and beat Alabama, come back 10-0-1. We'll feel proud about that.
Yeah, we got one more, and we're just going to go back to work this week and work hard and go out to set out what we did to do, and that's not lose one. We got to give a lot of credit to Georgia, though. They came out and played hard. So
it hurt us in our overall team goals a little bit, and it hurt us in our pride a little bit, but it's still not a loss. When it all said and done, 5-10 years down the road from now, it's still not going to be a loss.
Okay, we'll get into the first half. Saturday night in Auburn. Packed house, standing room only, and national television audience. Really a nice setting for the game, Coach.
Well, great Tiger walk for the crowd was super. Great night for football. The weather was so good. And again, boy, I tell you, Georgia used their week off. They were really came out sharp, and our defense was just having to try to figure them out, and they took advantage of it. Now, to our defense's credit, gave up no touchdowns. You'll see 2 drives Georgia has, great drives. The first one here, hold them to a field goal, and then when they stop us, you'll see them come back and do it again.
They move right down the field on a 13-play drive here, and they're down on the goal line.
Well, they just hit some big plays there. The defense holds them right there, holds them to another field goal, and I think all of our fans do right then. But we've seen 2 weeks of preparation. They've come away not with 14 points, but with 6, and you felt kind of good there because knowing what we have been able to do and some of the history of this week, we felt like we could come back and make some things happen.
Big play here. That was 3rd and 8. You got to get something going.
Well, early in the game, they were afraid of the deep ball to our wide receivers, but they wanted to crowd off the line of scrimmage. So you saw a lot of outs and corner outs that were wide open, and we continue to hit those. Thomas Bailey and Frank Sanders each had big days catching the football. There's a late hit there as we come down here to kick a field goal right now and go down by 3. Everything is pretty much as you'll see. The game was played again, I think, with Georgia and us. You'll see the game ended up playing with 470 yards that we had, much more than them. You'll end up playing. Now, watch this big hit here. I think this is one where Joe Frazier takes a block on number 49, and it comes up and makes a big hit there. Good coverage on the kickoff team. But as you go through this game, you keep waiting to see a big play happen by our offense, and you just never quite saw enough of them happen. Good coverage there, and the defense starts to get a feel for what Georgia's game plan is now. And they did very well. But to Georgia's credit now, they had no turnovers in this football game. Of course, the last play of the game was an interception as the clock ran out. But now here's our offense coming back, and again, you'll see an outside route as they fear the deep ball, and they're going to give up the short game.
That was after a short punt, and Auburn starts at midfield on a scoring drive.
What Georgia did now, they took away the deep ball and did such a good job, and they had to give up that route. Now watch Steve Davis just plows through there and scores. Steve had about 180 yards Saturday. Had a tough fumble now in that critical 3rd quarter that we had, but again, he ran very hard and made some big plays after being banged up early.
Had to fight through an injury. Great block by Leonard Thomas there.
Leonard Thomas right there, a great job. And then Steve Davis takes it to the corner of the end zone, and now we're up 9-6, missed an extra point. And again, there were too many big plays that we didn't make to blame a missed kick or a missed extra point for the outcome of this game. Those are the ones we're all going to remember, but there were time and time again we had a chance. Of course, defense coming on again.
3rd and 5.
3rd and 5. We hold them right here to, I think, a fourth down for 4th and 2 right here.
Parkman again, though, 39-yard field goal. He had a good night and made all 3 attempts.
And ties it up at 9-9.
Now we're down. Auburn doesn't move on its next possession. This is Georgia's next possession. They've made a couple of first downs on another drive.
Well, defense again. They had 130 yards rushing. They had about 260 yards passing, well below their average. Their tailback got 100 yards, but defensively, we held them about 7 points below their average. We just didn't make a couple plays on offense. Didn't quite do it well enough. Again, good outside route to Thomas Bailey, and a good yardage gainer now as we're starting to move the football.
Thomas was the receiver of note for the night, 7 catches.
Well, we had really no pressure on our quarterback much of the night. There again is the route to Frank Sanders, moving the ball downfield, and they were going to give that one to us to save the football game. Here's Steve Davis now cutting back, finding his blocks. Hold on to that football, got to secure it, but another big gain for Steve Davis.
15 yards now. Now you're down at the 9 with a 4th and 1.
Well, 4th and 1, and we've run. You watch where they worry about the sweep, and when you worry about the sweep, you get the quarterback sneak for a big gain and out of the 5.
Now it's first and goal at the 5.
Well, and again, we try to go up the middle. You'll see there's Joe Frazier picking up, goes down to the 1-inch line or 1/2 yard line. And I think you'll see the quarterback sneak again as Pat Nix jumps over. And we go into halftime now, and we're up 16-9. And, you know, we've had a lot of tough games this year, but at this point in the game, although I think Georgia's played a magnificent game, we're up 7 points and are in a position, if we come out at halftime ready to play, to do about what you need to do in a game like this, and we'll see what happens.
We'll be back in just a minute.
I personally have been a member of...
Check out the Auburn Collegiate tag when you pay your fees next time. And we want to remind you that I know most folks are getting the Christmas list worked over now, and just be advised that the Auburn video is almost completed. We got 2 more games to put in there, and it will be available soon, so keep that in mind. And several other Auburn products are in the works for your Christmas giving or receiving, and we'll be telling you all about that next week. You're in the dressing room at the halftime. You've come back with a lead. Any plans to change things? Or?
Well, what you need to do is, you know, we've had, coming out of halftime, if we get the ball kicked off, we can come out there, get a drive, get points on the board. We got a chance to go out there and stretch that lead and maybe cause them to doubt or cause them to give a little less fight. And we haven't done it lately, but this week we go out there and do exactly that. You'll see us come out with a big drive, but then you're going to see the changing point in the game. Instead of Georgia making the turnovers, we make 2 critical third down turnovers. Don't put the game away.
And breathe life
into Georgia. And that's why I'm saying is you can't, instead of making excuses, hey, Georgia played a football game. They had no turnovers. They play like that, they may be sitting out there 8-1 also, because that's what wins ball games. They played our game, and we close, but we made the turnovers. We have to look at ourselves and blame ourselves for that.
Back in just a minute with the second half. Second half now, and you'll see the Tigers come out and put together that drive that you always want to see to open the third quarter of play.
Well, you want to set tempo. Here we are. It's important to tempo. I talked to Coach Strickland. We're talking about what we want to run to open this thing. And here we go. We start moving that football down and running that football. We don't pass except a little bit in this drive.
61 yards in this drive for Steve Davis.
And but we just moved it 80 yards. Joe Frazier up the middle, he had a real good game running that football up the middle, but it was picture perfect. And you know, I think in the last few weeks we've won ball games, and the opening drive has been so tough coming out, and we're not doing what we needed to do. And as we go through, you'll see these boys came out to play the second half. But we'll see how games develop.
Watch this man use his blocks.
Oh, fine job of using. Sometimes you get mad, Steve, you don't think he's running hard. But there's a fellow that uses his blocks. Big run right there, and we go up 14 points here.
Well, that's a great piece of running.
Boy, look at that block there by Thomas Bailey. Excellent blocking by the entire team, and now we've gone up to 14 points, taken about 6 minutes off the clock or 4 minutes off the clock, and now we get to the turnaround.
You think they may have gotten a little comfortable right here, Coach?
Well, what happens is defense is playing real well. I hate to read too much into a situation. Yeah. We came down here on their side of the ball twice in a row. Here's one of them right here. And here's the deep ball. We've been throwing this all year. Now watch how the interception. He's laying on his back, gets intercepted. Now instead of it being incomplete, we give up the turnover. That's the changeover. But then here's where Georgia does.
A great play. Yeah.
There's the touchdown. Now we did that. Then there's the touchdown, and that's the difference in games that get put away and teams that come back and stay in ball games. And that's not one person's fault, but we didn't show a fumble the series before. But now Georgia is down now knocking at our door. And a critical play, it was a short yardage play. They bounce outside and get to the 10.
3rd and 3 here. They stopped Auburn on their next possession, and now here comes the tying touchdown.
We hold them to a 3rd and 3, and the quarterback zips in there a little tight route over the middle, and it's tied up now in that 4th quarter.
You're going to see a championship team battle with opportunities, just can't make the big play in the last.
How about this? Willie Anderson, I'll tell you, there's one that kind of got you excited. That was some kind of play right there. We get the ball down to 50, and you still sense, I don't think anybody in the stands or anybody on that team sensed anybody was going to say, okay, we finally lost one. Then we had a critical 3rd down completion there, but you'll see us every time we just didn't make the plays. When you have a big win, you make plays. Here's a
3rd and 6.
3rd and 6 right there. They knocked this one down. and we don't get it. So we get a 3rd and 6. This one where we
decide to go for it on 4th and 6.
This is the 4th down play.
At the 32.
And here's what we get. We hit the open man. He has to bounce inside. Their defender jumps over the back, makes the play. And it's a game of inches. But there's a lost opportunity there. And then our defense continues to play well over here. It doesn't give up, gives us another chance each and every time.
They make a 1st down. This is 1st down now at the Auburn 31, so they are in position to take
Georgia's going down to get the lead themselves, and now they've got the ball. They've kept it right there in field goal range. Then they get an unfortunate decision. They make a decision to try to get throwback. The one thing they can't afford is a loss, and our defense throws them out of field goal range. I know that was tough for Ray Goff there because he had himself for a winning field goal there. They try to make a play. Now, we come back at Steve Davis. Now, again, you shut him down, and boom, here's about a 20-yard run right here. Almost breaks it and gets us back to midfield. And, you're talking about two teams that are still trying to win this game.
I heard people calling on the radio last night saying, why do you run the toss? Well, that's why you run the toss.
That's right. Now, they stop it this time now, and again, force us to a 4th down and 5. It was 4th and 2. We thought we could get half of it back, but that didn't happen. Now, they come back and try to make it happen, and we stop them again. So it's just, boy, I tell you, we're able to stop them on defense right now. Offense, we take it down. And here's the next drive right now. And we get this one down. You'll see us now. We have another opportunity.
3:13 to go now.
3:13 now. We got another opportunity. Here's a 3rd down play. We don't miss this one very much. Pat Nix has a chance to make it. We talk about not making plays. It's not one person's fault, but those are things we've made. A minute and a half left. People say, well, gosh, why do you punt the ball? Why don't you just go for it? Well, they've got to score. And they don't want to be happy with the tie. They're going to try to score. And so they don't sit on the football. They throw the football.
1:48 in the game now.
Well, and again, this is one of those calls I'm sure Georgia doesn't like, and I don't know, when a guy has to try to make a tip, if they say you're trying to throw it just to avoid the sack, they give you the intentional grounding, but they're stopping the clock. And that's why you punt the ball, because what happens right here, you get the ball back now with the last drive with a minute left. There's a 3rd and 1. We get the 1st down, stop the clock with about 30 seconds left.
One more good gainer would have...
And this is what I thought was it. I thought that was it. I'm going to throw the one-on-one to the big man who makes the big catches every time, and we just miss it. And so you got to give Georgia credit. You can't say you didn't do the... There's the game to set up. We set it up in the middle.
About 4 feet wide right.
Set it up in the middle, and it was just about a little bit 4 feet wide right. And then they throw. And nobody's going to give up. Don't ever think these players gave up. Watch this now. The big interception, they've got to find a way to win this football game. And I guess it was a TV delight for ESPN.
It must have been. I'm sure they held their audience the whole time.
But I was just proud that the way that these guys, they somehow just got to win. They've got to somehow win this game. But it was too late, and one of those ties that are tough to take, finish off this game. And
certainly was. And it finishes Auburn 23, Georgia 23, back in just a minute.
Now I'm going to tell you something. On the day that we lost, I think you guys did more for Auburn today, the way y'all played, than we've done the last 20. Because we've had something going at Auburn, and we kept it going. That is totally believing that we got the way, and we know the plan, and we ain't ever going to stop. Now, whether that thing made it or not, it's a matter of a spot. I'm so proud of you, men. I'm so proud of you. I don't think anybody out there was just, those fans, I know, just hoping it ain't a blowout, but you guys thought you're going to win. I'm proud of you, man. Okay, go out with your head up. Go out with you. Don't go out. Do all your crying in here. That's right. Go out with your head up. Be a proud Auburn man. Because you just, seniors, you're the forever until somebody breaks it. I'm going to try to get a bunch of guys in there that'll break it. You're the winningest team in history of Auburn as a record. I'm proud of those seniors. Let's hear it for the seniors now. Hey. You put your hand up. And man, you're going to go down, and I'm going to tell you, without one loss, it's going to hurt. But you see, you're going to go down one of the greatest upsets in college football about 4 weeks ago, and you're not going to ever forgotten around America for that. It don't make this one any better. Man, in times like these, think about something to rejoice about. Think about the hard work, the things that y'all showed, and the things you kept going to Auburn. Let's bow forward to prayer. Take it easy, baby. Take it easy, man. Take it easy. The fight's all night, but we're singing in our heart. Because these young men carried on a tradition that's never going to end at Auburn. Tradition of fighting, tradition of never giving up, tradition of carrying the winning spirit that has been here forever and ever. Thank you for these young men. Thank you for these seniors. Thank you for everyone who worked so hard. Thank you for the effort shown tonight. The lessons that you taught us will last forever. Be with both teams, dear God. Any glory anyone receives, let it be in your name. In Christ's name, amen.
This is the Auburn.
Welcome to the Auburn Football Review. Alabama 21, Auburn 14 yesterday at Legion Field. Give them credit, Coach. They put together a great first half, and I think that won the game.
Well, they won it because they played a better first half and a better ball game. I don't think you understand the rivalry till you lose to Alabama, and I finally got to feel it. We got to live with it for 365 days, but that's all we're going to think about to prepare us to be a great team. But what a great finish. I think the seniors carried on a tradition of never giving up, and we're going to be proud of them. We may not be as proud today or be proud tomorrow of anything, but we're going to be real proud of everything they've done for this university over the last 2 years these seniors were all part of.
And speaking of those seniors, we talked to them in the post-game dressing room.
They got the blocks a little better than us, and this team came back. I mean, the attitude in the locker room was to stay as a team, be positive, and go out and never quit. Coach Bowden always told us the game was a game of inches, and there you go, it proves it tonight.
First of all, I congratulate Alabama on the undefeated season. But, you know, these guys sitting around here, you know, we've accomplished some things since we've been here at Auburn. You know, it's sad to go. It's sad to go, but, you know, I love everybody on this team, you know. But, you know, it's been some of the best 4 years of my life.
It's been 20 wins. I got some tears floating now, but you know, I ain't gonna show them because I got, you know, too many good memories to wipe this one off.
We made quite a few mistakes in the first half, and they capitalized, and we tried to make a run for it late in the game, but we couldn't pull it off. But we tried.
That'll be the most memorable part of my life, the victories here. And the goals I set forth for myself and accomplished. And just being around this group of guys, that'll be the things I remember most, and just having a chance to play against them.
Just a lot of pride, you know, and coming back, and the fans too. And just things ain't come out, you know, the way it's supposed to. So that's how it is. We show a lot of character by fighting back, and I think, speaking for the rest of the team, I think, and the Auburn fans, I think we have no reason to have our heads down.
I mean, they still always have next year the young guys that are here, and I'm going to still be pulling for them. I'm still an Auburn man.
It's been great the past 2 years. You know, I've enjoyed playing with these guys. I wish them the best. Especially coming back from last year, just being a part of this tradition and being out there. You know, win, lose, or draw, I mean, I'm still part of Auburn, and I still feel good about myself.
You know, it's been a great 4 years, and, you know, I want to thank all y'all and thank the fans from what they've done and meant to me. I'm really proud of the offense, how they came back in the end and, you know, tried to give us a shot at scoring. They came up a little short, but the effort was all there. It's been fun, to tell you the truth. It hasn't been boring. It's been a roller coaster ride for me. It's been fun the whole time. I have enjoyed it to the fullest.
Great bunch of young men. We missed 3 of them somehow in the dressing room. Punter Terry Daniel, offensive guard Brian Osborne, and linebacker Sean Taylor. Our congratulations to the 16 Auburn seniors. We'll be back with the first half in just a minute. For crowd at Legion Field yesterday, this time of year.
Well, it was beautiful weather, and it's a great experience going down and playing again. A very tough stadium and a tough game, but we had our fans out there being great.
Coach, we looked for some highlights in the first half. There weren't too many.
Well, the faster you can go through that first half, the easier it is for Auburn people. We came out and got whipped up in that first half pretty tough. Alabama ran the ball well from the first play, and there's Willie Whitehead getting a sack there. But we just weren't, we could not get on rhythm, and Alabama was on rhythm.
This is middle of the first quarter. They've already missed a field goal. Let's stop them here.
We had some good plays to start with, again, but, you know, we couldn't get off the ground. Offensively, here's a nice pass. This seemed to be our day. Here's Steve Davis, and we've got to get that corrected, obviously, at the end of his run, that fumble, and that led to the first score as we turned the ball over at midfield. We never could get past midfield because of our inability to make any yards on first down. We give them the big play.
3rd and 10 here, and they break a tackle and get the first down. That was a big play.
Yeah, they did a great job. We actually we were like 4 for 15 on first downs. They were 6 for 18, I believe. Very similar on 3rd down conversions. And but here's the guy that had a great day. Sherman Williams was almost impossible to tackle out there Saturday, and that's the first touchdown. And we just couldn't get on track. Defensively, we couldn't stop them. Offense, we weren't getting past the 50. We're punting again.
Senior punter went out with a great day.
all of his punts in the first half. He didn't punt in the second half. He had 0 punts in the second half. But there's a great reverse, but you'll see, I think, Chris Schilling makes a great play there, or he might have gotten to that wall on that play.
2 plays later now, this is one of the big plays that made the difference in the game.
Well, we just given up the big play. I think is the one we missed the tackle right here, and then we're not in a position to make the tackle coming back. But, you know, we said this game was going to be determined by turnovers and big plays. And we turn the ball over the middle field, and we give up 2 passes over 50 yards for touchdowns, and that was all the scoring.
Here's Auburn getting a little something going here in the second quarter.
Well, we passed. You know, we actually, in the first half, we had passed it 11 times and only ran it 7 times. We were passing almost every first down, but we could not avoid the rush. They did a great job.
15 after a motion penalty.
Yes, and there's a nice catch by Frank Sanders, who became the all-time leading pass receiver in Auburn history with the 7 catches that he had, trying to just find some way to get us going. And, of course, when it's your day, it's going to be your day. There's a fumble that bounces right back to Arms, almost a safety, but he makes the big play. And
they get the first down on 3rd and long, and then 4 plays later.
It shows you the difference in the way a game goes. When you're 11-0, you do things like this. And when you're 9-1-1, you let things happen like that. But again, that's the 2 big plays, along with the inability of the offense to control the football, led for a very difficult first half. And you've got one of the greatest challenges these men have ever experienced in that locker room at halftime.
You are so right, and we'll be back with some information. Get your pen and pencil ready in just a minute. Well, what did you tell your players at half, Coach?
Well, I mean, you either fight or you quit. You either fight or you quit. We've never done that before, and like I said, this is probably the most difficult halftime they've been in the time I've been at Auburn, because Auburn's tradition, Auburn's future depended on how they played in the second half.
And there's a young man with a lot of pressure on him, and he responded.
Well, Pat Nix is going to handle the pressure again for our lack of ability in the first half to do things correctly. The defense and the offense try to go out there and make it happen. Now, the thing that was difficult is that we needed to stop them, and unfortunately, we could not stop them. Alabama controlled the ball for about 5 minutes here up until this turnover, but there's Mike Pelton getting another fumble recovery, and although they had a good drive going there, we were able to stop them with that turnover. And, of course, the offense now, with a little bit of life, comes back and responds, and you get a few plays like this that didn't happen in the first half, and that's when your offense starts to click. You need so much to have first down yardage, Jim. You'll look at the first half. We had 6 penalties in the first half. Never had a chance to have positive yardage.
3rd and 4 here, big play.
Big play. Thomas Bailey catching that ball. That's very similar to the one that was knocked down and intercepted a little later on that'll cost us. But we never punted. We had the ball 4 possessions in the second half. Here's a great screen play.
On a 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10. Fred Beasley, who's going to be a household word, I think, by the time he leaves Auburn, made some big catches in the second half. And Pat Nix and the offense has him going now. Get a little more protection, a good little rollout here. He does a great job of looking short, going deep, and coming back short to get nearly to the first down.
This is the team that's the most difficult in the league to score inside the 20 on.
They've been very hard. Of course, there's Hicks Poor, a name that not many people have known about. Hicks Poor from Marietta, Georgia. Tyrone Goodsong could not play the last 3 games, and Hicks Poor came on and had 4 fine catches. And there's the touchdown right there, the quarterback sneak. And so at 21-7, we began to see ourselves as a touchdown and maybe a late big play away, but we've got to stop them. And this is where that's our only possession right there in the 3rd quarter. Because
if you get that thing down to 1 touchdown going to the 4th, then you got a real chance.
That's right. But again, to credit to Alabama, they did not let us to stop them. Although they got the ball, controlled it for 10 minutes now after that score. And the defense had to find a way to stop them here, and they got a first down now. They're on our goal line, and we're trying to hold them back.
They sneak for a first here. This is a 20-play drive that went from 5 minutes to go in the 3rd to 5 minutes into the 4th quarter, which was really damaging to your hopes.
Well, that's what it is. Brian Robinson makes a great interception there to get the ball back now. We got about 9 or 10 minutes left in the game, 9 minutes left in the game or so, and we've got to find a way to score ourselves because we've got 20 yards to go just to get within 7. But this is where you're just so proud of your young man, Pat Nix, finding the deep ball to Thomas Bailey. If we could hit him on stride, maybe, but it was a great play to put the ball in their territory now. And we've got a good drive going.
3rd and 7 coming here at the Alabama 30.
Well, we're just going to make a short side throw here. There it is, beautiful. Pat Nix making a great 3rd down play to our tight end. We tried to get the ball several times to him early in the first half, but they covered him well with a big catch.
This ball actually hits the defending lineman in the face, and it bounces up, and he catches it.
Well, that's why you have 11 of those seasons because players make plays. And that player made a play there as a senior that changed the whole ability of us to come back and get a football. But, again, we weren't going to be denied. We get the ball back again. Good throw to Hicks-Poor there.
That was 3rd and 5.
And we probably got about 3 or 4 minutes left in the ball game now. We're just trying to find a way to get it done.
3rd and 10.
3rd and 10. Another good screen. Super run there by Fred Beasley. Gets the ball out of bounds. And we've got this thing moving.
Going to Hicks-Poor again, a name you've not heard a great deal of.
Well, he works that Tyrone Goodson short side over there. And, again, keeping the ball, trying to control the clock, trying to find a way to get back into this game. Oh, falls down, catches a little higher, catch a little run there, but we got the first down.
Down at the 30 now on 1st and 10.
We were able to hit that swing pass. They were covering the middle so well to keep us from hurting them over the middle. They allowed us to have that swing.
Here's a 2nd and 10 at the 17.
We're fighting for that end zone. We get down to the 1. And got to get that ball in the end zone now. They have a great ability over the years to hold people out of the end zone. We get in again, and now it's 21-14 now.
With 2:23 left in the game.
We decided not to kick it deep. We had not been able to stop it real good, so we decided to kick the onside kick, try to get the recovery. If not, we still had 3 timeouts. We did not get it. We hold them in 3 plays. They punt to us. Another 11-0 season type of play here. They down from the 1-yard line. When you play football like this, you do not allow a team to come back. And that punt right there, as you'll see now, we have no timeouts left and we're on our 1-inch line.
You got to spend some seconds getting off the goal line first.
That's right, and there it comes. Though this is how close you are right there to pulling it off the goal line. You get a guy breaking open, but we can't hit the play, and but we still have to get out. You'll watch this. He hits a swing out here to Fred Beasley. Good run up the sideline, and now we're out of bounds on about the 20.
No timeouts now.
With no timeouts, and we've got to keep this thing moving.
Great job there avoiding the rush.
Well, if we just catch that and get a little more yards, but we're able to get first downs.
Here's 2nd and 1 now, and a scramble. But this uses time on the clock, too.
Right. He picks up about 20 yards, so it's not a bad scramble because he knows we stopped the clock on the first down. And so now we've got to get people set up.
3rd and 10 now with about 40 seconds remaining.
Well, they give you this little swing pass. You're trying to get as much yardage as you can. And now here's a 4th and 3, and you see the marker over there. We've got to get to 1 yard to the 39-yard line, and you just, like I say, you see how close that is. Very difficult to even know how far he got up or whether he made it or not. But the official is always going to be the last say, and it came down to less than an inch.
It must have been so close.
It was less than an inch now, the difference, and.
I think I should point out that Thomas Bailey ran into Patrick there.
Yeah, I think the officials recognized that after the game, but Pat Nix was up to dispute the call, and Thomas run up and pushed him into the official, and I think I think Patrick apologized, but again, you know, the boys played a great comeback, but it wasn't to be. You have to play 60 minutes of football, and like I say, that's a tough loss for us to take and our people, but we've got 365 days to get better and look forward to next time.
We'll be back with the final comment in just a minute. Coach, it took 2 years to see how you handled a loss, and I must say you handled it very well. And I think I can speak for Auburn folks after all these years, and they would say, congratulations, let's get it going, get another streak going, and we'll be thinking about a bowl game this time next year.
That's right. This team probably would have been in a January 1 bowl, but you don't have to sulk over loss to hate a loss. You hate them because you're out here to win, and winning is what you want to do. But we will come back, and there'll be another day. And I'm proud of these seniors in this football team.
Let me say for the Auburn Network, what a pleasure it's been working with you and your staff this year, and we look forward to another great season in 1995.
Thank you.
We'll see you next year. Thank you for being such loyal fans, and we'll be back with a great 1995 season for you in September.
Coach Bowden's apparel provided by The Locker Room.